All right, you ready?
Yes, sir.
3, 2, 1.
All right, guys, welcome to Saturday Night in Snake Talk. I'm excited because we have a guest in the house. That's always a lot of fun. We got Nick Polaski in the house. How are you, brother?
How's it going, guys? Good. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, yeah, it's awesome, man. Good to have you on. So we'll get into your whole thing. Obviously, here, you guys in the chat, we're going to still be answering all your super chats.
That's
so
right.
Feel free to chat us up in the supers, and we can cover your questions. We can cover topics. And the one thing to start with is we share ink, basically.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
we share the same artist.
Yeah. So it's cool. So obviously Bob Tyrell is. How did you meet Bob?
So I met Bob. I mean, basically, you obviously inspired me to get what I basically got. I mean, but that was like way when you first started. Like I knew it's ironic. Like a lot of parents would be like, you know, don't get a tattoo. But my mom, she has tattoos, and she's like, you know what? I'll take you to get a tattoo when you're 16. But I'm like, no, I don't know what I want yet.
Your mom sounds very progressive.
Yeah. So I'm like, no, I don't know what I want yet or anything like that. But I mean, I knew once I saw your stuff, I started like screenshotting your progression. I'm like, oh, when's he getting his next one? Stuff like that. And I knew I wanted to do like the realism and stuff like that. And then like I wanted to do like a theme with it and stuff like that. And then I was like, all right, I want to do like obviously conservation's like a big thing for me and stuff like that as well too. So I'm like having something that's not only looking amazing, but like having a conversation about that with people. You know, why did you get this? You know, and what does this mean to you?
Right.
So having that story of endangered species of North America, that's what the whole sleeve is.
Gotcha.
So
and you're looking like you're probably 80% done.
80%, yeah. So we probably have about maybe one.
You got some tough areas coming.
Yeah. You left all the good ones for last.
I know, yeah, exactly. But he says like, man, you sit like a rock. Like literally for the Florida Panther, like I sat like this for like 5.5 hours. You know, but it didn't bother me.
5.5 hours. He did that quick.
I know.
It takes Brian 14 and a half months to get out of there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like so. For you guys don't know, Bob Tyrell's a pretty much world famous black and gray artist. Probably top 3 to 4 guys in the world as far as legendary goes. There's certainly great black and gray artists out there that don't get the acclaim that Bob gets. As a matter of fact, there's a couple guys that I really want to get some time with, but you know, after I get so basically, I'm going to finish up my left arm, much like you've got to finish yours, and or your left arm as well, and then I'll move on to doing some tattoo collecting from just like guys around the whole country that are like super famous type of stuff. So so it's cool. That looks good, and so. All right, guys. I know it's a reptile thing, man. We're going to talk. We're going to talk reptiles
in general, right?
We're going to talk reptiles. We're going to talk all kinds of stuff. We'll find more stuff out about Nick and Nick's mom, but we're going to find out about some.
I can't wait. Yeah,
I want to find some.
The link.
I want to hear all about your mom.
Yeah.
But but Bob is obviously a very interesting. They call him Slow Bob,
right?
Because he's always super slow.
Yeah, like I think like commonly I would get out at like 2 a.m.
Yeah,
you
2 a.m.
something like that. Like
what time would you start?
Normally we would shoot the shit for about like an hour.
But what time does he tell you to show up?
We would show up. It's normally whenever I want to, and I'd say normally about 5.
Okay.
Latest probably 6. But then we'll literally
so
probably the latest we've started from that time I got there was 9.
Yeah,
like,
it usually takes So I always go the other way with Bob.
Crazy.
Bob always wants to start at 5 or 6 o'clock, you know. But I'm always like, bro, I'm not a 2, 3 in the morning guy. You know what I mean? Like I wake up super early in the morning. I want to get things going. I'm like, let's get going at 3 or 4 o'clock.
Sure.
So I'll show up at 3 or 4 o'clock. Sometimes it's 3. Sometimes it's like, oh, come on, you do it at 4, whatever. It's at least 3 hours from the time I start. Get show there till there's ink in my arm. At least 3 hours.
I mean, we're sitting there, we're eating. I mean, we're having a good time.
Oh, you have to eat. You have to eat. You know, I mean, like
he's making chili. Wants wings.
Jesus, all he does is chili.
Dude, straight up, this is all I've heard.
This is it. I'm going to tell you, and I love.
And he loves it hot.
Listen, Bob, I love you. If you listen to this, I love you to death, brother. This is what happens with Bob. You show up. He's like just waking up at 4 in the afternoon. He's got a cup of coffee. Then he's like, yeah, what's up, man? And he's like, he's just a cool cat.
He lives the life of a rock star.
Yeah, he's a cool cat, man. Yeah. Cool cat. I mean, this dude is cool as shit, man. So, but literally, he's like, maybe 15 minutes of talk. How you been, man? And blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, I got to take a shit, you know? And then he goes and takes a dump. Then he's like, are you hungry, man? I'm like, no, I'm good, man. I just want to get a tattoo. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, all right, yeah. Yeah, like he goes, all right, what do you got? So I'll show him what I got. I give him the image. He like, oh, yeah, man. And then he does some templates, gets the right size, the right spot. Because, all right, I'm going to, let me make some chili. or let me heat up some chili. Or let me do this. Or, I got.
Let's feed the squirrels,
Yeah, something. So then there's at least an hour of like him eating and stuff like that. Then he goes into his room and he does his little stencils and stuff like that. That takes another hour.
Oh yeah.
And then he puts the stencil on your arm at least 5 times.
Yep.
Because he's a perfectionist, which I love. This is going to be on our arms forever, man.
We'll argue about placement all the time.
Yeah,
and stuff
yeah,
like that,
yeah. So I love it. I love the fact that he is so into it. But so you're 3 to 4 hours from the time you walk in the door.
Then we got to pick a playlist of what we're going to listen to.
Yeah. Then he's just the music is, and he's listen. I'm all about when he's playing like good stuff, but a lot of times he plays this like crazy shit that I've never heard. Like 1970s, some hillbilly Bob, music, and I'm just like, damn, dude, like what the hell's going on?
You see, the trick is that you got to talk about an artist with him like right at the start, like what you want to listen to. Just like not even bring up like, hey, this is what I want to listen to. Just talk about that artist,
and then he'll be like, oh yeah,
subconsciously, hey, let's play this guy.
Let's get some Slayer on here. Yeah, I'm always like, man, if we play something like Pantera, maybe it'll work faster.
He'll move a little quicker.
But it does never work. Yeah,
No.
I mean, I've been there till 5 a.m.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah, one time you sent me like a message in a bottle to get you out of there.
I'm like,
dude.
please come save me. So,
yeah, because we were gonna knock out 2 at once, and I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know. If
you can't ever. Bobby, you ain't knocking 2 at once. We do have some super, so let's jump into these before we get going, and then we'll learn some more about how Nick and myself met each other, and it's been a while since we talked, man.
4 years.
Mac's in the house.
Our boy Mac Attack throwing some love as always.
And Mac, I got to get with you, brother. I mean, I've been like, I know he's coming in a couple weeks, right?
Yeah.
And but yeah, I mean, I freaking
life's been crazy, dude.
Look at freaking our
Rare Dog?
girl,
Devi, she dropping bombs, and she says, "You have no idea how much I wish I could be your angel investor. If I was worth all that, I'd back the entire thing. Love you, Brian, and your amazing vision. You're a treasure to those of us lucky enough to watch your journey. I will do more as things gear up, I promise."
Well, listen, Debbie, I appreciate you, and we appreciate
what a sweetie.
She's great. She's
Love
great.
you.
She put on the Mike Wilbank Growing Up Wilbanks barbecue, and she's just a wonderful person.
Like a good time.
It was a great
blast.
time. We had a really good time. Of course, it was at the end of a very long trip.
Oh, yeah.
So we was tired.
We were a little bit tired.
I saw Jay eating a snow cone.
Dude, I lived next to that snow cone machine, dude.
I had like 4.
Yeah, it was so
Keep 'em in your
blazing
back
hot
pocket.
out, dude, that it was just the only thing that was salvation.
It was hot, and it was, but it was a really good time. We had a great time there, and we wanted to have, as a matter of fact, not next weekend, but the following weekend would have been our personal. Yeah. But we decided to kibosh it because listen, I think it's twofold. Number one, I think it's maybe it's just not prudent, at this time. And then number 2, I don't know if optically it's the right thing to show on. Like, hey, we're going to have a great big gathering. Big gathering right now.
The newscast out here and everything.
Yeah. Like, look at Brian, don't give a shit
the
about
super spreader of Utica, Michigan.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
You know how it goes.
Exactly.
Kathleen says, have you seen the post on Facebook about a little girl who squeezed a snake to death at an educational show? Absolutely tragic. Be safe.
I haven't seen that.
I have not seen that, but
that's brutal.
Listen, I haven't seen it, and I'm not trying to cast aspersions on anyone, but I would put that on the educator more than I'd put that on the kid.
Sure.
Like as an educator, when we go to places, we have to make sure that I tell people all the time, Nick, that when we opened the Reptarium 3 years ago, it was harder to learn people than it was the animals.
Oh yeah, it's a whole different animal.
Right, because it really is, because the way people treat the animals is what you have to read.
It's varied, yeah.
You have to read. So if you see someone squeezing something, you have to immediately be like, don't, you know what I mean? Like, you got to be watching every move of every animal.
I think a lot of it, too, is like nerves, People are like, oh my God, I have to hold this thing or it's going to fall, or they're loosely holding it because they think it's going to bite them,
Yeah, and we always talk about that. We're like, just gently squeeze, or we'll say, just let it hold, hands open. Hand. Exactly. Depending on the animal, some animals you got to like a lizard maybe jump out of your hand. Just barely put a little pressure, but we've never had anybody squeeze anything to death or anywhere close to that. So again, I think that I'm not trying to bash the educator because I don't know who it was and I don't know the situation, but I can't imagine a scenario where one of myself or any of my educators would allow that to happen.
Yeah, I think the educator just has to be within a close proximity.
Well, a close proximity and reading what the situation. Listen, I've grabbed people's arms.
Yep.
When they've done things that I didn't want them to do. I mean, forcefully grab their arms.
Like, nope.
Like I've had it with feeding alligators where, like someone's like going to get too, and I have to literally grab the arm and yank it back. I don't mean to be like, but I don't want them to get bit by that alligator. So the only way to do it is to forcibly,
it's better than to make a costly mistake.
Right. So yeah, tragic for the snake, probably, whatever.
Yeah. Girl with scales says, hey, it's Summer from JKR. Hey, what up, Summer? And says,
Summer, what's
hope
going
you all
on?
are well.
That's good to see.
Hope you're well too.
We got to get you guys up here. You know,
that would be cool.
You got, So Summer. Make that happen.
Make it happen. I don't know what to do.
Please come up and visit us. Get on the podcast. I mean, we can talk about Nick's mom if you want.
Yeah, anytime.
Bring it on.
Yeah. So, before we get any further, so Nick, like you said, we knew each other from a while back. You started kind of doing like film stuff and stuff like that. Are you still messing with that at all? Or
100%. Yeah. I am full time a licensed drone pilot, videographer, and photographer.
Oh, okay, nice, cool, good stuff.
So I was kind of showing Jay in the back a little bit of the work that I've done. I mean, what I do day in, day out normally is real estate and events.
Oh, okay. So you're drone in the real estate and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So we do like these cinematic like videos of these properties and stuff like that. It's like luxury homes and stuff like that. We shot Matt Stafford's house. Did a whole bunch of different things. So
literally shot his house?
Yeah,
with a grenade launcher.
Shot at it to get him out of town?
Yeah.
Yeah. Goodbye, Matt Stafford.
Oh, he's in LA. Let's go.
Yeah. How is his house, man? Like,
is it
big?
Yeah, it's big, but like it's modestly big. It's not like the crazy ones that I've seen where like nothing to people that have these homes, but like
because he's making like $30 million a year or something like that.
But you go into some of these homes though, and it's like they think I don't know what to do with this room, so they make another living room and then another living room.
Yep.
And another
There's like $8 million,
and they don't use it, and like it's just crazy to me.
Yeah,
like I don't know, but then
so real estate and I'm sorry, what else was
like
that?
events and stuff like
okay,
that.
like yeah.
But the nice thing too is we're a smaller company, so the people that I work with, they're around the same age as me, a little bit older, and they are supportive of what I do with, like, they know that I mainly work with reptiles and like environments and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
So landscape photography and stuff.
Okay, so your passion is still animals, but this is the way you pay your bills and support your habit.
Yeah, so I went from like basically from when you knew me 4 years ago and stuff like that, working like the pet store and then like odds and ends jobs just to pay the bills, to like going from the retail aspect of things to just kind of focusing it to this company, doing what I loved, straight on to full-time videography and stuff like that, as well as my animals. And
That's
stuff
awesome.
Like that
Good stuff. Now, what kind of animals do you keep?
So a lot of reptiles. So ball pythons, I probably have a collection of like, I don't know, like 26.
Okay.
And it's going to keep growing and changing and stuff like that. This is the first time this year that I've had babies since in 5 years. Cause I knew that if I wanted to breed, I didn't sell any of my breeders or anything like that. I was like, I just was going to just keep holding on to them.
Okay.
And I knew if I wanted to breed, I wanted to do it right. You know? And the space that I had, it wasn't right.
Okay.
So I was like,
so you kind of held off
on it.
I did. So what did you produce this year?
So this year it was just kind of like a mellow thing to get me going in it. So I had a spider female to my super pastel lesser. Okay. So we hit pretty well on those. We got 2 queen bees, a pastel lesser, and a pastel on the clutch.
Nice.
Dope.
It's dope, isn't it?
Yeah, isn't it? It's really cool.
Did you cut the eggs or did you let them hatch?
We cut the eggs. But it was like
you bastard.
Yeah. Right?
I can't believe evil piece of garbage.
Can't believe it. Everyone on the internet. We'll put his link in the description. Go show him.
Show me.
No, I think if you responsibly cut eggs, it's completely.
And I saw like the egg, like they were cutting them themselves and stuff like that. They were pipping out and everything. We also had a lesser female to the super pastel lesser, and then we had the one thing, we had a stillborn blue-eyed Lucy in the egg. I was like really bummed about that, but I mean a lot of pastel lessers from that and everything like that.
That's
and
cool.
Then the last clutch, I bred this before, had these, and then I sold these right before I moved out here. Okay. It was a pie to a black pastel albino. So then I just got double hets from there. Right. A lot of black pastel double hets that I'm keeping.
Cool,
female.
Cool. That's
so
good.
A lot of them
and then the trick
really
would be
cool markers too on them. A lot of ringers.
Yeah,
so.
Trick would probably be get NG into that at some point so that you can increase the pattern.
Yes,
you know, because the black pastel will have such a reduced amount of pattern on the pied. You know, but awesome. Well, good. That's great to hear. So
pieds are like my niche. So like I was just kind of like, you know, I want to focus more so primarily on things that I want to work with, and I think the pied project is huge.
Yeah, I think pieds, clowns are, you know, I just
and that's what I'm getting into next is the clowns. So like that's like a long time ago. I was like, wow, these things are really expensive just for a normal clown. But now I'm like, okay.
Yeah, now that you can. Yeah, now the base stuff is stuff is pretty good, and then when you start getting crazy stuff, it gets wild. You know, it's going to be interesting to see, you know, what everyone produces this year. There's already been some fire stuff produced, you know, and I know JKR. I mean, they set the standard for everybody. You know, producing stuff that blows everyone's minds.
Oh yeah, I've been in talks with Justin and seeing like what he's got. So we'll see down the line if maybe I'll be getting some stuff from him. So
it'll
be exciting.
Yeah, no, he's a good dude, man. I mean, the whole staff is great, and they have animals that
except
are
Summer.
I mean, except Summer, she's
horrible,
terrible.
That's who I'm in contact. Summer and him,
chatty,
so.
you know.
Yeah. If we get rid of her, the whole place would be better. No, it's like the dream facility,
I was gonna
right?
say,
I mean, you walk in,
when you go in.
Oh my gosh, it's the gates go in, and then you got this like beautiful, like foyer with a kitchen and high end. It's like you're walking into a gourmet
spa.
restaurant.
Right,
it's like I'll take a massage and
a ball python.
Calico, banana clown. But no, it's definitely we'll never have that. We're like more like rocks and we're like a cave. It's like we're not.
I like it either way.
We're not fancy like that. But no, but I if I ever did a new ball python facility, I'd be definitely
taking lessons.
Mimicking that.
Yeah, mimicking
that's
that.
like the standard, like a high standard.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's the right size. It's everything is perfect for it. So it's good. What do we got next?
Laughing Boy says, my female lemon blast just laid her first clutch of 6 eggs.
Nice.
She was bred to a pastel pinstripe and was curious what we could produce from the pairing. Genetic wizard lists all possibilities twice.
Yeah, so lemon blast a pastel pinstripe is a lemon blast. Right. So you're basically, I mean, if I'm missing something, if you like maybe misspoke about what they are, let me know. So basically all you can really produce from that is super pastel pinstripes, would be super blast, and the potential for lemon blast. And then, I mean, there is always a potential for less stuff, but it's most likely everything's going to be pastel or super pastel. Yeah. I think it's like 1 in 8 possibility that you could produce a normalish animal, like a normal or a pinstripe or a pastel for that matter. But now there's still that argument: is there a super pinstripe yet?
Right.
And, going back to it, I just haven't really messed with it too much. Way back in the day, I still produce, because I breed a lot of pinstripe to pinstripe type stuff. And, like spinner to pin or whatever the case may be. And, obviously with multiple genetics. And every now and then produce like these really reduced pins, like that are super clean.
Very unique looking.
Yeah, very. And so years ago, I actually had one that was a male. 27 eggs, it fathered. All 27 were pinstripes. Unfortunately, the male passed away the next year, and then I never tried to produce a super again. I mean, I might have produced it and just sold. So I don't know if there's a super pin or not, to be honest with you. I would think that by now someone else would have produced one.
Easily.
But who knows? I mean, I don't know. I have no idea, So what I'm saying is with that breeding, chances for a super pin, possibly. It's going to look, phenotypically, it might look slightly different, but it's not going to look really different.
Needle in the haystack.
Yeah, but it's, we'll see how it goes.
Family Bite says, morning from Straya. Baby's feeding, but here, yay.
Yeah, it's baby. The titty feeding.
The titty's out.
The titty's out again. Straya. Man, I was a couple days ago just really, have you traveled much?
I travel, nothing out of the country though.
Okay, but just around the country.
No,
yeah.
Around, yeah.
Where would you want to go?
God, I would say it'd be really cool to go to Africa. Would love to see gorillas in the mountains and stuff like
Uganda,
that.
yeah.
Around there. Australia easily. And ironically, I would love to go to Antarctica.
Oh,
I heard that journey is crazy.
Yeah,
I've heard from people it's like crazy. You have to take a boat, 5 planes. It's like a whole.
Brian's like, I wouldn't even. You lost me at boat.
Yeah, you lost me at boat.
Well, the boat ride is like the craziest part.
Yeah,
it's like really rough and stuff like that on
the
river down there and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's the Drake Passage.
Yeah,
the Drake.
Brian
Passage.
talks about it all the time.
Trust me, I know all about the Drake Passage.
He's watched every video possible of the Drake Passage.
I think there is not one video on the interwebs that I have not watched on the Drake Passage. Ironically enough, once in a blue moon, it's very calm.
Right.
But 99% of the time, I had a friend who was a comedian named Fran Capo. She also had the Guinness Book of World Records as the fastest speaking woman. Yeah. She has like 25 Guinness Book records, all for fast speaking.
Wow.
Even to the point where she, companies were like, insurance companies would like pay her to do commercials, like of doing something crazy. And so she got a call from her agent going like, hey, we got this gig. This insurance company wants you to read the 7 Dwarfs or something like that in Antarctica for a commercial. You have to leave tomorrow, fly to Argentina, and then from Argentina take a boat to Antarctica down the Drake Pass. She had no research. She had no idea. Yeah. She gets down to the southern tip of Argentina, and they just say, do you get seasick? And she's like, why would you ask? And they're like, well, it's really rough seas, and these aren't extremely big boats. You know what I mean?
They're not.
They're
They'll rock you.
Yeah,
like fishing boats.
Yeah,
almost.
yeah, they're like
party boats.
Like maybe 20, 25 people boats. You know, they're most of these are not like hundreds of, not a cruise ship, even though a cruise ship. I went down that rabbit hole too, looking at cruise ships,
crashes.
not crashes, but just watching cruise ships in rough seas,
Even.
Oh my gosh, it's terrible. But anyways, point is that she said she had never been in seasick like that, but she said literally like for like 48 hours, you can't do anything.
No.
You can't sleep, you can't eat, you can't do anything. You are literally like strapped in a bed, because if you're not strapped in a bed, you are like all over the place. I mean, and they can't.
It's like being in a rocket that never ends.
Yeah, it's like she said it was like 40-foot swells, and you just go up, down, up, down, up, down for 48 hours. And there's never a break, not even for 1 minute. It's like every minute of 48 hours you are rocking like that. And she said it was the most horrible experience in her life. Point is, I don't want to go out on a boat in 4-foot waves, let alone 40-foot waves. So thank you very much.
It tires you quick too,
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
Well, I get seasick on the littlest thing, so I couldn't do that. Now, I think you can fly to Antarctica. There's a couple flights that you can leave from Argentina and actually fly. Again, I think those flights are probably pretty brutal as well, because you just have, but yeah, I think Antarctica would be cool if the right situation happened.
I agree.
But I don't know.
I just think it'd be a cool feat to do. I mean,
I've been the one continent that no one else really goes
exactly.
to.
I don't have any interest in doing Everest. I think Antarctica would be like the next thing.
Yeah.
I think that would be cool to go.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would, if I were a betting man, I probably won't get there. I would say that there's little to no hope of me ever getting to Antarctica. I mean, it's probably absolutely beautiful, but you can go to you can go to Greenland.
Greenland would be
almost
Faroes Islands
just as beautiful.
Ooh.
Just as beautiful without having to go through the Drake Passage.
I would love to go to Norway too, Costa Rica. That'd be great.
Yeah.
A lot of things that I like is like marine photography and stuff like that. So like we went to, in May, it was right at the tail end of Orcas season. We went out to Monterey Bay, California. We went out there. Second time out on the ocean on a boat. I mean, same thing for me. Like, it was
Did you get sick, or is it?
I can get sick. I knew, like, going into it, I can get sick, and it's been years since I've been on it. So I've been on lakes and stuff like that, doing like sailing events and stuff. But like, that's nothing. That's not the Pacific.
Yeah, it's not the Pacific.
So it's fine for the first hour and a half. It's like, oh my god, this is like buttery smooth. I'll be totally fine out here. I was like feeling great, but got seasick 4 times. So later, it was a 6-hour boat trip.
6-hour tour, yeah.
So like, but like, you're gunning out miles like in the ocean, and I mean that's fine. And then when you stop,
that's when you stop. That's the problem.
Momentum.
Yeah, when you're driving, as a matter of fact, the only time I really ever got seasick, I say I get seasick, but the truth is I only got seasick once, and it was we went out 6 miles on a fishing tour, and I don't fish, you know what I mean? I just went because my friends wanted to go, and it was choppy as hell, but going was no problem. I mean, it was big waves. Fine. It was probably 8-10 foot waves, and I mean, I was bouncing. It was like almost fun. It's like, yay! I tell you what, they stopped. They stopped. I put
you can feel it.
I put bait on my thing, cast my thing. By time I reeled it in, I was throwing up. That quick.
Once that equilibrium changes, dude,
it immediately.
Your mouth dries up, everything. And you're like,
and then it was like it was a 5-hour tour. And so I just laid on the dock getting sick for 5 hours. And as soon as they started to come back in, wasn't sick anymore. Like as soon as they started to drive again, instead of sitting there and going back and forth, swaying, and it was horrible.
Because we were hitting different marks and stuff like that out there. Because we were looking for orcas, even though like it was the end of the season.
Yeah, did you see any?
No.
So we saw. So you went through all that shit for nothing.
Yeah, basically. So we saw like 300 dolphins.
Well, that's good.
Pacific white-sided dolphins. Those were incredible. They were flying like they're very social, and they came right up to the boat.
That's awesome.
And as we were going out there, like they were just like I have photos of us just like with the drone flying behind us of them like just going triangle like a V pattern like you would see like with geese just jumping out of the water.
They're like, what are these idiots doing?
So
these guys are morons.
There ain't no whales here.
Hey, what are they doing?
And they spotted blue whale a couple days earlier, so I was really hoping we would get some blue whale, but no, we saw 17 humpbacks though.
Well, that's cool. Then that's worth getting sick. That's worth getting sick. Yeah.
I mean, getting sick, it was nothing too. I mean, it was like I threw up once right over the boat. Fine for like another 2 hours. The one problem, one problem is I couldn't lay down like you. If I sat down, I would feel it. So I stood for 6 hours on a boat, rocking. So like that.
I bet you when you got to shore, you were still rocking for hours after.
Well, because it was like at about a 45-minute boat ride back to shore. So, and then we stayed in the Bay Area because there was some breaching action going on there. So for a bit, but like for that 45 minutes, I was standing and I was just like dozing, you know,
Yeah,
it was
just
just
like,
kind of
yeah.
relaxed.
Yeah,
But
it's
enjoying
well,
the sea
ironically
breeze.
enough, our friend ABC, Andy Brandy Casagrande, a few weeks ago, probably a week and a half ago, asked me if I wanted to go to Guadalupe Island with him because he's out there right now.
That'd be
200 miles offshore.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Fuck that. No,
I need
no.
to build up the endurance more for it. I
Yeah,
would
like
do it,
200
but
miles offshore, not knowing what the conditions are going to be, and you're there for 4 days.
Right.
Like you're not getting off that boat for 4 days. You're staying on the
And
boat.
that's the scary thing when you book a trip like that.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what the weather's going to be like.
Yeah.
And you're going to be on that seas. And that's what I was worried about. I mean, when I got off of the plane in San Francisco, I mean, it was literally like, all right, we're going to get the rental car and we're driving down 2 hours to Monterey. And I get the call from the company that we went through. And the girl was like, hey, the wind is like picking up and we may get storms tomorrow. And I check it really quick. I'm like, you know what, we're going. I mean, I'm like, we got no
Gotta
choice.
send it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And thankfully, like, it was like the most pristine day because obviously that area is like normally cloudy and stuff like that. I mean, blue skies.
That's why you always go. I tell you all the time,
Yep.
Brian.
Yeah,
you always go when it says it's going to storm
when
because
it's
it never
storming,
does.
it's yeah, get it. All right, let's hit a couple supers real quick.
Yeah, you got it. Real Deal says, hey, boss, have you heard of the new Axanthic line? It's on Morph Market in their snake's description. Also, any plans on bringing Chewy back to the podcast?
What Axanthic? Have I heard of
new
the
Axanthic line?
Axanthic ball python line?
I'm guessing.
Does it look? I wonder if it looks any different.
Probably.
I mean, it
right?
probably looks like it's just a normal Axanthic. I don't know. I have not. I haven't heard of it.
either,
But
I've been
as
seeing
far
a lot more work in the project of exam.
yeah, that
that's been picking up a
JD
lot.
Constrictions.
Yeah,
he does
something like that.
crazy stuff like that. I mean,
Because
he's
it
got,
died down for a while.
Yeah.
Like
Well, I think he
2015-ish or
kind
something
of
like that.
he really
died
brought
and-
it back
yeah.
like with lots. I mean, he's just like crushing it, you know. So, but as far as Chewy, yeah, I've talked to Chewy a bunch. He's working tons and tons of hours right now. He keeps on saying as soon as he can, he's going to come down. So we'll definitely have Chewy's back, and it'll be a Saturday night podcast just like this one. So so definitely Chewy will be back.
You remember when we made that video with Chewy? It was like it was Noah's first video when his channel started. It was how to pick up women.
Oh yeah.
So
I
you
do remember that.
So
And
we went to the liquor store.
Yeah, I went to
and
the
then-
liquor store, and then we tried to go to the hot spot.
Yeah, because we were trying to pick up chicks, and you're like, "Oh, I got it." We went to the park, no one there. We went to like 3 parks, no one was there.
No one was there.
No
And then
one.
actually, I
You
take that
found
back.
one
I found
couple,
one
and they were
couple,
nervous.
and yeah, I so the
boyfriend was all
Jay,
about
you'll
it.
love this one.
Yeah.
So I walk up to this couple, and I'm like, I go, I know this is going to sound really weird. I said, but we're shooting this video, and I want this guy to try to pick your girlfriend up. And I said, and at the end, he's going to slap her ass. I said, would you have a problem with this? And the guy was like, no, I'm good, man. Let's do it. You know? And she was like, no, I can't do that, man. I just, no. And she was like almost
way,
there.
really?
She was almost there. She was almost like, she's like, well, me, no, I just can't do it. I just can't do it. You know, I was like, come on, man. And so, we went over to the hot spot, which is like a coffee place that I guess like has people in lingerie. There was no one there. Went to a couple other places. So then we ended up using my sister-in-law, Becky.
No, you didn't.
Yeah,
for
she
real?
did. And it worked out really well.
That's awesome, dude.
That was a fun
That
video,
was
though.
a really fun video. But yeah, that was like a whole production. I just remember that was like
Yeah, that's right.
hilarious.
I
We were
forgot
driving
about
around
that.
the Jeep and
Just trying to find freaking, trying to find
It was
some
harder
chicks.
than we thought it would be.
Yeah,
you know?
it's the first time I tried to pick up chicks in 30 years.
Yeah,
It
dude.
was
It was difficult. Now that everyone uses phones.
But I
man.
will say, I was in. This is even more awkward. I was shooting for Noah, of course.
Yeah.
I was in L.A. and I went to the Anaheim like fair or something like that. There was a Repticon show there, but there was also all kinds of stuff. There was like dogs. I mean, it was like a crazy.
Oh, I
cool
remember
thing.
that video,
Yeah. I met Bo, the 7-foot tall guy there. I met Miguel there, ironically enough, at that event. And but anyways, we wanted to shoot this video where I came up with the idea, and Noah was all about it. But so there was a little petting zoo.
Oh, okay.
So the idea was Noah would like run into this petting zoo and like, oh, look, there's a chicken, pet the chicken. Oh my God, there's a goat, pet the goat. And then ultimately I wanted to have like, after he petted several things like him, like happy, like all this crazy, like happy music. and then all of a sudden you just see him petting like hair, and then you look up and it'd be like a little kid.
Yeah.
And then they go, oh, and then the parents are. So sure enough, I talked to like 20 parents. I'm like, I know this is going to sound really weird, but is there any way that I could shoot a video of my son petting your kid's head?
What they say?
I almost got beat up like 5 times.
No way.
Oh, totally fucking like.
It's so crazy.
I mean, it was I didn't find anyone. So again, what ended up happening was some people that we were hanging out with, we used the guy's girlfriend, and she just kneeled down.
It.
Yeah, well, she just kneeled down like she was doing something, and then so anyways, that was the more awkward.
That's
one.
a good one though.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'll do anything for film.
I'll do anything for $1.
I'll do anything for $1.
Robert says, "Let me know how you would feel to have someone with mild CP on your podcast and also has a spine that is narrowing. They have cerebral palsy."
I listen, Robert, come on, man. Seriously, dude, I'd have no problem with that, man. I think it would be really cool. I think there'd be a lot of interesting questions I'd like to ask you about that. And so yeah, if you can get to the area, come on over.
Come one, come all.
Yeah, I mean, heck, if I have Nick on, I'd have anyone on.
Yeah, no problem, dude.
No. I was glad. Nick, you obviously reached out to me. Was it just yesterday, right? Or the day before?
Day before or something.
Day before,
like that.
yeah. Like, hey, if you ever want me to come, I'm like, come on out. Yeah. Because
20 minutes away.
Yeah, because we're launching not next weekend, but the following weekend is the first like VIP experience stuff where people can come for the podcast, and we're just using that money to help people come in town for like
smart.
So like we I want to have like Tana from Serpent Design on. I want to have Chandler on. I want to get Willa here again. I want to get obviously Tyler Nolan on. Tons of people, tons of people, and that way we have a little bit of a budget to be able to just say, hey, we'll fly you in, pay for a hotel for the night, and you can come on. But we want to have, I would say, at least 2 or 3 weekends a month we want to have a guest on.
Sure.
And then the 1 or 2 weekends we might just be solo, you know what I mean? But
that's what I mean. Like, I've really been trying to hit YouTube hard with the stuff that I've been doing and stuff like that, my personal stuff, and it's not easy, I mean, with everything that I've been doing, I bit off way more than I can chew, I think. Like this year I had a lot of goals set and projects that I wanted to do.
Sure.
I didn't even start some of them, but like I even started a podcast and I was like, I want to get 12 out. We're at 4, but I'm like, it's not easy,
So what do you do on your podcast? I mean, do you have people or is it just you?
People.
Or okay.
Yeah. So I always want to have a guest with me and stuff like that rather than a
in-house or Zoom.
It's mix. So I think I've had, the ratio is 3 in-house, 1 Zoom.
Okay.
So far, just because that guy was in PA.
What platform are you using? Like a StreamYard or something like that, or?
Basically, it's all going to be. I don't have anything. It's all sent to YouTube now.
So you're just like using like an OBT or something like that
basically.
to bring to zoom in.
Yeah. So basically, that's how that's going. The podcast is called Put to Scale.
Okay. Put to Scale. That's actually a good
name.
name.
Yeah.
That's a good name.
I love it. So
name.
it's basically like reptile people and then whoever in the animal world I want to grab. So I got like a guy that's Nathan Jordan. I don't know if you've seen him on the Reptile Report. He's doing like all these venomous like photography portraits and stuff like that. He's out there. We got him. We got someone that went to Costa Rica, just kind of seeing like, he works with frogs, so kind of seeing like when his trip was there, what he saw and what he brought from that trip to incorporate in his collection and stuff like that, like husbandry wise and stuff like that. So it's stuff like that I want to go beyond like the normal reptile kind of podcast.
Yeah. Well, that's what we try to do too. I mean, obviously we talk reptiles, we talk animals, especially with Snake Talk. Obviously, we're talking more about reptiles on Saturday night, but we also want to get beyond it. There's
Make
we
it
want
fresh,
it's just, listen, there's a lot of great reptile podcasts out there that get really deep, nerdy into reptiles. And I can get as nerdy as anyone wants to with reptiles, but I don't really feel the need to do that.
Right.
I mean, it just doesn't have to happen. So, yes, what we got?
Brandon says, stoked to catch a live podcast. Been a huge fan. Much love and can't wait to visit the Reptarium. Finally, after I move me and my family to Texas and have some money.
All right. Texas. Actually, speaking of Texas, someone we are going to have on is Ari that used to work at the Dallas-Fort Worth Zoo is opening up a reptile zoo not too far from San Antonio, Texas. Yeah. And so he's going to be coming up sometime in October. So
I've only been to Houston, but definitely a cool area.
Yeah. Well, Houston's my least favorite part of Texas, ironically enough. I think it's the least Texas-y, you know. It's
really?
It's more like Louisiana to me than it is Texas. And no,
I was so young at the time too. We didn't do much.
Well, no diss on my Houston friends. And, you know, my good friend Burns, he lives in you know, right outside of Houston. So I mean, obviously, it's still cool. Yeah. But I love the, you know, central and western Texas.
Yeah, really, you know, like western Texas.
If you get into west, it's really beautiful. But Texas is great state. Definitely, I could see why so many people have been moving to it. You know,
for sure. Mm-hmm. Silver Cash says, just got off of work, getting ready for this hurricane.
Yeah, I heard about
It's not going
to
hit us, but we are close enough that it's definitely going to give us some gnarly rain.
So he's in Florida, right? No? Where's Silver Cash from?
Give me 2 minutes. But I'll try to figure that out.
I thought he was like Florida, but
I think you might be right, but I don't know.
But I just have you heard about this hurricane?
I keep getting the reports today. Like,
okay, so I didn't even know because Jay actually told me about it. I'm like, I don't watch the news anymore. Like I'm like anti-news guy since COVID. I was like, all right, I'm done with news. I watch like financial news, but I haven't seen anything about. So I didn't know there was even a hurricane happening. The last hurricane that hit, I didn't know was happening. Of course, our shipping staff always knows what's going on because they have to
plan ahead.
Yeah, they have to plan ahead and stuff like that. So.
I think either Florida or Alabama. I can't tell
down
completely.
That range,
but down that range.
Yeah, gonna get some rain down there for sure. So
good luck out there, Silver Cash.
Good luck. Be careful. It'll make the humidity higher for your pizza dough to rise. Does pizza dough rise slower or faster with humidity?
I don't know the answer to that.
Damn it.
I know that one of those is true, though, for sure. I would assume the more humid it is, the faster it rises.
So Silver Cash does pizzas and rodents.
Yeah.
I've
been hearing this saga go on. I listen to all these, so
hearing
this saga go on. And
so he's coming in not next.
I just saw the pizza oven today, dude, and it looks so sick.
It's modern as shit.
I want it as my normal oven.
Yeah, like I want to find a place to put. Like I don't have to anywhere. It's in my like foyer right now. You know,
it's like right by the doorbell.
Yeah, it's like right in the foyer. You know, it's
like
and I'm like, where can I put this? Like,
you got to channel your Big Rich. You know
exactly.
What I'm saying?
Big Rich from Ohio Fisher. Actually, he's got like the dopest little patio area. He's got 2 pizza ovens out there. He's got a nacho cheese spreader,
chili sprayer.
He's got a hot dog grill like the 7-Eleven hot dog grills.
a zip line.
He's got a zip line. I mean, the dude is. I tell you,
he's living the best life.
Did you ever follow Big Rich by any chance? Have you ever seen?
Yeah. I'm living in Cleveland. Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So he probably is the most fun person I've ever met. As far as like
he's having the most fun.
He's just is like a big kid that's just like, you know, like it's like his house is a fun house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's got like hot rods and Harleys in the garage. Then he's got a zip line in the backyard. He's got a full on band rehearsal room in his basement. He's got sex swings in his bedroom.
Yeah, it's just a fucking good time. You know?
No, this dude is like living it, man. He won the. As a matter of fact, you know, I didn't tell you, Jay. I was listening to the radio a couple weeks ago, and the guy that is the president of the Mullet Association was on, and he was talking about he was talking about how they do the competition for best mullet of the year, and Rich won it last year.
Yeah,
he had the best mullet of the year.
It's a fucking
and I wanted to call so bad. I wanted to call and go, I know the guy that won the best mullet of the year. You know, God bless you.
Good for you. Click.
Yeah. They would have been like, yeah, sure you do.
Sure. Everyone says
no,
that.
serious. Let me send you pictures. I got pictures with him.
You would be shocked if you ever hear him say, "I'm bored." You know.
He's crazy. He's really good, but good guy. Him and Josh are awesome people, and I love them to death. I mean, I think they're super good, but every time I've been to his place, it's just been wild. Like it's just,
you never know what you're getting.
I'm just like, this dude is crazy. I love him.
It's good energy.
It's super good. So.
Laughing Boy came back and said, "My bad. I meant she was bred to a banana pinstripe."
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, very
so pretty much same, but had banana.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, you can obviously get pastel pinstripe. You can get, which would be lemon blast. You can get banana lemon blast. You can get banana pastels. You can get just bananas, which would be unusual. You can get just banana pinstripes, which again, is possible because you could not have the banana. You don't have pastel on both sides. So yeah, those are basically your options, And what you have to remember is it's probably a male maker, I'm assuming. So all banana stuff is going to be male, and all the non-banana stuff is going to be female. So that's one of the things that's nice about, like, let's say if you wanted to breed a banana pied to female pieds, you're going to produce all male banana pies and all female pies. And of course, female pies are in higher demand than male pies. From a breeding standpoint, everyone wants female pies. They're worth a little bit more money. So it kind of works out
easy
perfect.
to divvy them up.
Yeah, it's and I use that kind of philosophy with everything I'm breeding banana stuff too. It's like, what do I want to produce females of?
Yep.
And I'll throw a banana towards that and produce as many, because anything that's not banana is going to be a female most of the time. Although I did have a couple crossovers this year. I have them both ways. Male makers will sometimes produce females, sometimes.
But majority it's male or female, whatever it is.
19 out of 20.
Okay.
It's going to be a male, and 19 out of 20, the non-bananas are going to be
genetic
female.
mutation in general, right?
Yeah. So but it does jump. It's a very interesting mutation.
Trick.
It's good. Yeah.
Family Bites came back and says, haha, that was at 2 a.m. He's going through a rite of passage as an Aussie kid. He is 8 months having his first taste of Vegemite toast this morning.
Ah, dude.
That's dope.
Have you ever had Vegemite?
No, I really want to try it.
Oh, we could do that right after, man.
We could do it right now.
We could do it right now.
I could go grab it.
Yeah, you want to?
Do you want to try it right on the podcast?
Go grab it. Yeah,
where is it at, Brian?
Oh,
is it?
shit.
I can get this. I can get it. Don't worry.
But I wonder where it's at.
It's probably in your office, right?
It was in my office, but now it's not. I don't know where.
If I leave you guys chill for a second, can I try to figure this out? Because I think it'd be hysterical.
Well, you're not going to be able to get into BHB.
No?
So it's going to take you like 10 minutes to do it. So let's not do it.
Okay.
Afterwards,
we'll get there.
So listen, Vegemite is one of those things that it is an acquired taste.
It is.
It's like
love it
liver.
or hair it, I heard.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. So listen, I think that almost everyone that tries it hates it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean,
From out here. Yeah.
Yeah. I think even in Australia,
Really?
you know what I mean? I think the first time they try it, they're probably not like, oh, this is the best thing.
It's like eating oil.
Well, not like that, but yeah.
But you know, like, so the first time I tried it, I was in Australia, and I was at a Macca's, as they call them, McDonald's, and I thought it was like, oh, this is gonna be great, you know. And there's a saying that one of my friends said is that, you know, you feather it, not spread it, right?
Yeah.
So you feather a light layer on a piece of toast with some butter.
Yeah.
Beautiful. You get like peanut butter it, you're gonna die. Now, as you build up your tolerance for it and start liking it, you can use it almost like peanut butter, you know, like a much thicker. I love Vegemite. I freaking love Vegemite. I mean, listen, I don't eat a lot of bread. Yeah. So if I didn't eat bread, if I ate bread every morning, I'd have toast and Vegemite. That's how much I like Vegemite. I mean, as a matter of fact, my back, I used to, even when I was like kind of, you know, more into fitness and stuff like that, and I didn't eat bread much, every Wednesday morning, this was seriously, this was my routine.
Oh, I could believe it.
Because Snake Bites was launched on Wednesday, right? So every Wednesday I would be home, and my ritual was to make Vegemite toast and launch Snake Bites. It happened for years. For years, I'd eat toast once a week, and it would always be with Vegemite, and it was always on a Wednesday when I launched Snake Bites. And
so you'd be replying to the comments and taking a bite.
Yeah, sure. Replying to comments and taking a bite. Back then, there wasn't that many comments, so but it didn't take you that long. But seriously, every Wednesday, that was my routine, is Vegemite. But most people, you know, don't like
battery acid.
Yeah, most people don't like it at first, and I'm assuming that even Australians. Yeah.
Always been curious.
Well, I'll find it after, and you can try it. You know, it's better to be on toast. You'll just have to take it on a little spoon or something like that. Take a little piece. You'll get
the idea.
Yeah,
but I love it, man, and good luck to you with your 8-month-old and off the teat and onto Vegemite.
Onto the Vegemite.
That's a true Australian.
Yeah,
that's a true Australian. He's like,
got a wiener off the teat right on the Vegemite.
Get right on the Vegemite, mate.
Yeah, dude, exactly.
I love it, man. I love it.
Nick, I know a guy named Nick. He says, hey, guys, what's your craziest trip adventure you've gone on? Yes, yours too, Jay. Have a great day, guys.
Well, I'll go last. How about you, Nick? I mean, that trip to Monterey or whatever sounded pretty cool, but what's the craziest one?
God, I don't know. I mean, I would probably say... Jay, go first. That's what I'm going to say.
Well, Brian knows mine. I mean, I'm going to say craziest as in like closest to dying.
Yeah.
Okay, because that's where I'm at. But me and my buddies went upstate New York during the polar vortex about 3 years ago, and our car broke down in like negative 25-degree weather, and we were stuck like on the side of a mountain for mad long, and almost froze to death. So that was probably my favorite. We went like frozen waterfall hunting and stuff. So it was a cool trip, but almost died.
Yeah, that's a scary one.
It was good. Yeah, cold. That cold is crazy.
Yeah.
I bet. I would probably say like we had one family Florida trip that we went down, and the whole thing was just kind of crazy. I mean, we drove down for one from Ohio down to Florida, and I mean, just terrible storms the whole time. You know, I mean, it was just crazy. And at that time, I was still learning how to drive, so like I was like, okay, well, this is my first time in bad weather and stuff like that, and that's how I kind of got accustomed to taking long distance drives. And then we stayed at a hotel overnight, and then the next day, from probably me to you, for probably a little bit half this distance, our cars were parked, and the car right next to us, the windows were all bashed in, the tires were slashed.
Oh crap, man!
But
So you're
but my dad and my sister, they got in the car, like they didn't even notice it. So I'm like, is no one gonna realize like what happened right next to us?
Wow,
they had government plates.
Oh, interesting.
So it was like a weird thing like going on at the time. Like I don't know. So it was just an intentional thing. But then like later on in that trip, we went to where did we go? We went to Universal. And after that day, we ate at the Hard Rock. And this was the last time I had pulled pork.
Oh, shit.
Because I was like,
I love that. Any story that ends like that.
Yeah, that's the last time I pulled pork.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way.
Yeah, by the way, right? So this is where I switched to turkey bacon.
When in solid came out, not solid.
Yeah,
honest to God, it was literally that after that, like for the next 8 hours, like it was just a routine. Like I was just going like constantly laying down for like 5 minutes, getting up, puking, getting up, puking. And I mean, like I was gutted by the end of it. Like my stomach was like, oh my God, my ribs are in pain. It was awful.
What'd your mom eat on that trip?
She wasn't there.
Oh, no.
Damn it. I wanted to know more about that.
I'll let her know later. I'll ask.
Yeah.
Do you remember this date in 2011?
Yeah, exactly. What did you eat that day?
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I mean, there's so many storied, experiences that I've had that publicly and privately that, obviously almost getting killed in Africa, the crazy trip to Indonesia, flying to Labuan Bajo. Obviously there's lots of, the Australia, stuff that I've done in Australia. I mean, obviously even just the trip I did with Discovery Channel was crazy, just playing with taipans and eastern brown snakes, and stuff, there's just so much, I mean, obviously, filming Brian in the Wild and having the rhinos, come so close to us, that was crazy. There's so much, I mean, but, some trips are just cool beyond, the animal side. Like, Lori and I, his trip to China was really incredible. Some of the times, like I remember even early on, when my real international travel started, first major besides Canada or Mexico, I went to Germany when I was like 19, 20, something like that. That was my first like overseas trip, and there was a friend of mine that had a reptile shop there and literally flew to actually, it was kind of effed up, to be honest with you, because I didn't know how to travel back then. You're a kid, and you're like the cheapest possible flight is what you're looking for, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't matter. So I flew to London Heathrow, and there was a 10-hour layover. So I literally was like, all right, I've got 10 hours. I'm going to leave the airport and go to London and see London by myself. Don't know anybody at all, So I get on the tube. The tube isn't exactly the easiest thing to navigate, So I remember getting on and going to Piccadilly Lane. I'll never forget that. Got off on Piccadilly Lane, and that was near Buckingham Palace and Big Ben and all that stuff. Just before the Eye was there and stuff like that. But you had the Thames, and so I walked around there for like 5 hours. I ate the quarter pounder with cheese. What did they call it in the Samuel L. Jackson movie?
I don't know, Brian. You always put me on the spot. I don't watch these movies.
IMDb, what is it?
Wait.
Yeah. Oh, I think it was Samuel L. Jackson that said he
had that T-shirt.
Quarter.
Right?
It's like Royale with cheese. Something.
Yeah, I think it's a Royale with cheese.
Yeah, something Royale with cheese or something like that. Right. So I did have that in London. And then I was terrified to get back to the airport. I was like, holy shit, am I going to... And again, now I have to go through customs again because I left the airport, And so I cleared customs. Then it was so much easier to get through stuff. But then flew down to Stuttgart. Literally got to Stuttgart at like 11 o'clock at night after being like, it was like 20 hours of travel. Yeah. Get to Stuttgart at night. Then had to drive an hour to my friend's place. Then we woke up at like 3 a.m. to pack... to drive all the way back up to Amsterdam, which is not that far from London to begin with. Yeah. It was like a 10-hour drive in the van, and I'll never forget. I was with all Germans. They were all German. Stefan. There was this guy named Jorg that worked, So it was me, Stefan, another Stefan, and Jorg in this van with all his snakes. We're driving up to the Amsterdam show, which is called Snake Days in Utrecht, Holland. Okay. And so literally on the road for like 7 hours. And Steph and I were talking, but no one else was saying a word because they just spoke German together, right? Sure. And so finally Stefan falls asleep, and it's just me and Jorg like traveling like, for 2 hours in silence.
Yeah.
And then he just like looks over at me at one point and goes, "So where are you from?" And I'm like, what the fuck? I go, "You speak English?" He goes, "Oh yeah, I lived in Chicago for a few years." And I'm like, dude, and I met him the night before. How long have we
been together?
Yeah, the whole at 3 a.m. from 3 a.m. till when we left at like 6, we were packing together. Right. And then we drive for like 8 hours before he says a word to me in English.
Yes.
And I'm like, "You son of a bitch."
That's actually a great one.
So then we went to the Amsterdam, and then to be honest with you, that even got crazy because we did we stayed in a above a bar. Okay. In a like a brothel above a bar. You have to climb a ladder to get to the upper floor, and it was just
like a loft.
It was a loft, right? Yeah. It was a hallway with like 8 doors and 2 little cots in each room, 1 bathroom at the end of the hall, and that was it.
And some Skyrim stuff.
Yeah, and we stayed there, and that was my experience with the first like European breakfast as well. If you go to Europe, a lot of times they'll have just like you just wake up and there's like ham and sam, like bread and they don't have like a full, and you just like kind of make a sandwichy type of thing or whatever for breakfast. And then we did the show, which was dope. It was really, really cool. And then we went to Amsterdam that night, and that was crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, like the first time I'd ever been to Europe, and now I'm in Amsterdam.
My virgin eyes.
Oh my God, it was crazy. Thankfully I was with an Italian, ironically enough, that was super cool, and he kind of stayed with me while the other guys went off and did some debauchery stuff.
Good.
And but we hung out in the, I think it was called the Green Cricket. It's like where the Doors used to hang out, and the Rolling Stones used to hang out, and so we just stayed. It was like a bar, and of course you can smoke weed in there. I don't smoke weed, but I was stoned out of my mind from secondhand smoke, and it was just a cool experience. So that was one that I loved a lot.
That's cool. And it was a Royale with cheese.
Royale with cheese,
Royale that's Pulp Fiction, right?
That's Pulp Fiction, yeah. Pulp Fiction, yeah, exactly, of course, yes.
Nope Rope Exotic says, "Huge fan. It's because of you that I decided to follow my dreams, getting my first proven pinstripe to breed with my adult killer bee. Much love."
Awesome, man. Congratulations, man. I really hope that you do well with it. It's it'll be amazing.
It'll be so amazing.
It'll be so amazing. You can make enough money to buy a Royale with cheese.
Ooh. Exactly. Nick came back and says, Isle of gone out to Guadalupe Island. That's on the bucket list.
Yeah, Guadalupe Island. Listen, Guadalupe. It would be great if you could handle a boat ride.
Right.
Yep.
Like if you were like a sea-bearing type of person, it'd be amazing. 200 miles offshore, you spend 3-4 nights, especially with a guy like Andy Brandy, who's like a seasoned veteran. And so my understanding is, and I may be wrong about this, but number one, it's very deep water there too, which is scary, right? Yeah. It's like you can't see the bottom. It's hundreds of feet deep. Yeah. And so my understanding is that you can stand on top of the cage. You can get in the cage or you can stand on top of the cage, but you can't swim. You are not allowed to swim outside the cage, period. Now, I don't know if everyone is allowed out of the cage or just like the people that are running. Yeah, maybe certain people. But it is, I mean, you don't need to be a diver. You don't have to be PADI certified. You don't have to do anything. They just have like lines that come down from the boat. So you're not even wearing a back, like a tank or anything. Yeah. You just got lines down there. This is the thing that bothers me. I'm going to be honest with you, is that number one, let's say I can make the trip out 200 miles. Let's say I don't get seasick. Let's say that everything is going great. And let's say that I'm in that cage 20 feet below the water and I'm breathing and I freak out.
Right.
What the fuck do you do? Because you ain't swimming. You can't swim up. Yeah. And they're not bringing you up. Yeah. I mean, all these other people are in the cage with you. You know, I mean, that's my concern. Right?
You ain't going to freak out. It's an animal. I think you'd be totally fine.
I think I'd probably be fine. I don't think I'd freak out about the shark. I think if I
look down.
If I look down and I can see 200 feet of nothingness, that's got to be.
Did you guys see that video that it came out rather recently of a great white getting in the fucking cage, dude?
I heard about that.
Dude, it was crazy.
And at that rate, they're freaking out. You know, they're not trying to go for
No,
they're trying to get out of there.
But you're in your head. You're gonna be like, oh, this thing got me, dude. I'm done.
I saw that
crazy.
shit. I saw that shit in the movie Jaws, man. I know all about that.
Oh yeah,
all great whites do that actually.
Yeah, it's a part of their behavior, natural behavior.
Cage diving.
If I lived in the West, though, I would constantly force myself to go on a boat just so I can build endurance. You know, I mean,
like even like Catalina Island or something like that. Like you know, like that's like not that far of a boat ride, and at least you get a little bit, you know. But I think I would love to do it. You know, to be honest with you, I'd like to go to Australia to go shark diving better.
That'd be great, yeah.
You know, because you can still do the great whites. I believe you can still free dive with great whites there. Not free dive, but not be in a cage. I think it's the only place on the planet that you can still.
I think I've heard that too.
You know, you can still. I know that now it's illegal to do it in South Africa. You can only cage dive in South Africa. Thing about South Africa, when you go off of Cape Town, is you're not far off the coast. You know, you can literally still see land when you're out there. And a lot of times the conditions, you can like pick the conditions like, hey, I want it to be super chill. And if it's chill, then you get on a boat and you do it because there's so many options, you know? So,
I've heard too, like, this is why I want to go to Norway. You can dive with the orcas.
Oh, that'd be great. I think that's sketchy though, man.
It'd be interesting, you know.
They are scarier to me than sharks, dude. I
don't know.
They're dangerous.
I'd be more willing to go with them, I think, than the sharks. I still love sharks. I think,
I love both too.
Wow,
I'm down with both.
See, I would
constantly
be more
having
afraid
dreams of orca, so maybe I'll die from an orca. But like, you know,
yeah, that's fine.
You know,
that's
I think that's what it is, though. You know, I think
well, everyone say farewell.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Well, Nick, it's been nice knowing you.
It's been nice knowing you. Thanks for being on the pod.
Thanks for being on the podcast.
Now,
your mom can watch this when you're gone.
Yeah, when you're devoured. No, I just something about the orcas. I don't know if it's maybe just because like they're darker looking animal that they like have like that menacing look through the wall. Yeah, through the water. I don't know, but they give me like
they're all so unique.
They're powerful too.
Well, they're so powerful compared to even sharks.
Right. I mean, they'll fling seals 40 feet in the air.
They'll fling sharks.
Yeah, exactly.
And the other thing is they work together.
Yeah.
They're like wolves.
Hunt. Yeah, they hunt in packs, and they're, you know, I mean, they kill sharks. I mean, they literally kill great white sharks.
Did you see The Secrets of Whales?
I didn't see that.
That's pretty cool.
Is a good one. Is a good one. Yeah, I gotta see that because I love.
I think the first episode is on orca, and it's just incredible. Just all around the world, just how all the different subspecies of orca, how they hunt and how they eat and stuff like that. It's all completely different. It's all a different learning strategy.
No, I understand that, and it'd be cool. I mean, it'd be dope. I mean,
I'm down. I'm just saying I'm more afraid of them than sharks.
Yeah, I think
which is weird, but I'm down either way. Let's fucking.
It'd be cool to go to Greenland though, and like you know do some sharks there and stuff. That would be really cool. There's narwhals.
Dude, that would be tight too.
Yeah, it got the Greenland sharks.
That's a good point.
I think the Greenland sharks, they say, can live like 500 years or something like that. Yeah.
They can live like forever because their metabolism's so slow.
Yeah. But they're not dangerous, so that's awesome. I don't think I'd be afraid. You know, like I said, we've got a lot of friends even that dive off of the coast of Florida and stuff like that.
Every day, man.
Yeah, all the time. Will goes out, Chandler goes out.
Yeah.
You know, obviously
Nolan.
Yeah, Nolan goes out, Tyler. So yeah, those guys go out all the time. But yeah, I just don't like deep water, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the scenario, I would really have to be focused on the animals to really not freak out myself.
Yeah, it's weird, right? Because I think most people would freak out on the animals. We're the opposite.
I'd
where
be
it's
fixated on that. And that's what I think helped me too when I was out on the ocean, was not being fixated on like I'm on a boat and it's rocking and stuff like that. If I was laser focused, like flying the drone or just like filming it handheld or anything like that, you know, I'm fine. I'm looking for humpbacks and stuff like that or just seeing the dolphins, cool. Yeah. But like, the change in motion, everything like that.
Yeah, no, it's understandable.
That's what it gets you.
Yeah, you got to get out of your head. There's no doubt about that. That's the hard thing, and I'm not good at that.
I'm not.
RC Exotics just said, "Hey guys, much love."
What's up, RC? What's going on?
Nice
dude?
to see you again, brother. Silver Cash said, "I'm excited. Can't wait to see the oven, but you got the Cadillac of pizza oven. I'm on Bama, Florida state line. Okay, so I was pretty much on the dot.
Yeah. Oh, the Cadillac of pizza oven. Good. I can't wait.
Peaches on the pizza.
Yeah. Peaches on the pizza.
They can't even find any damn peaches.
I wonder what Silver Cash's opinion is of fruit on pizza.
Yeah.
You know?
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, because when
Tomatoes
I was
a fruit though, so like.
Yeah, you're right.
You know?
But so when I was in literally when we were in Italy. We ate pizza constantly because it was like fucking ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's
also
pizza.
pizza.
My gosh, it's just like pizza heaven there, you know. I mean, I love New York pizza, but Italy
who do you think?
like,
where do you think they learned from?
Yeah, Neapolitan.
Yeah,
but
Pasquale.
But literally, Lori, at one point, my buddy Gabe that we were with in Milan, we had gone out to this really good pizza place. I mean, I'm talking like they had like 100 different types of pizzas. Not a one of them had fucking pineapple. By the way.
Dude.
And Lori said, Lori said, yeah, you know, she goes, my favorite pizza is actually, you know, Hawaiian pineapple pizza. And literally, he genuflected. He did the old like. The father.
Yeah. He's like, I'm so sorry.
He's like, oh my God.
I'm sorry for your loss.
He said, do not say that ever again. You know,
dude, straight up, that's like sacrilegious.
So I wonder what Silver Cash's position is on that.
I'm all for the pineapple, just not the pork after that whole trip.
No pulled pork,
no pulled pork, no nothing.
No even
bacon.
Turkey bacon, huh?
Turkey bacon, I'll settle for that.
I actually
like not normal bacon though, right?
I like turkey bacon. Actually.
I like turkey bacon too.
Well, ironically enough, I had another story that was similar to that, where I got really sick. On a boat. My only time I went the story I just told you.
Yeah.
I ate popcorn shrimp before I left. So I threw up popcorn shrimp for 4 hours. Yeah. And I didn't eat shrimp for like 20 years. Like for 20 years, I could not eat shrimp.
And seafood sickness is like no joke.
Yeah. I mean, it was
so is pork though.
Yeah. But I don't now. I like shrimp again. So, but it took like 20 years before I ate shrimp. Yeah,
we'll get you there.
You'll get you there.
We'll get you there. You'll be stuck on an island somewhere.
How many years ago was this?
This was probably about like 7-8 years ago.
Okay, so you got about 12 years.
Yeah.
And you'll have pork again.
Yeah. I'll look at a pig and I'm like, you're next.
Next. Eventually.
You'll get to Antarctica and they're like, it turns out all we got is pork here, guys. Sorry.
That's all we got is the pork, cured pork.
Yeah.
That's all they eat in Antarctica. There's actually a traveler that worked for Nat Geo, and he actually, the first time he went to Antarctica, now he actually he does like expeditions for Nat Geo. So like he's always out on the National Geographic expedition boat and stuff like that with tours. And I mean, I don't know if they're doing it now with COVID, but they were before. So he'd been to Antarctic many times since. But his first time he got there, he actually filmed like 6 seconds just for Twitter, because all he did was Twitter. This guy had a great story, okay? He showed up at the Washington, D.C., Nat Geo. It took him like months to get an appointment. Okay. Went to Nat Geo's headquarters, finally got a meeting with somebody and said, this is the deal. I've got a ticket right here to the border of Mexico. And after that, I've got nothing planned, and I'm going to make it to Antarctica. And I want to tweet it my way down there.
That's pretty cool.
That was it.
What an idea.
No filming, no anything, just tweet. All I'm going to do is tweet my way to Antarctica. And of course, they had a boat at the port in Argentina, that if you get to the port in Argentina, you get on our boat and you go to Antarctica. Yeah. So all you have to do is get from the Mexican border to the tip of Argentina with no plans whatsoever and no contacts. And he ended up doing, so the guy, Nat Geo, said, yeah, let's do it. Let's go. And he let him do it. And so he ended up doing that for about 5 years. Not just, I mean, he traveled all over the world.
Right.
With no plans.
I think that's great.
And I followed, and all he did was on Twitter. So I followed him constantly on Twitter. It was, because it was an amazing journey. Every day he was doing something else. And it was always
waking up and not knowing where you're going to be.
And it was just live tweet. I remember him live tweeting in a bush plane, in Africa. And he's like, literally, he's like, I can't believe I have a reception. He said, literally, we are bouncing around like, I remember him saying this. He goes, we're bouncing around like a can in a washing machine.
No way.
He goes, it's so bouncy up here. And he goes, and we got a 3-hour flight. There's storms all around us and stuff like that. And it was like, he really had a way of like bringing you along on the journey. Cool. And I remember every now and then because he would tweet like what was going on. And then every now and then he'd have these really cool poetic things like windy road, wind in my face, and this was when it was
spoken word almost.
It was, and this was like 32. This was 32 character time, right? So we had 32 characters to tell this amazing story, and he did a great job. So, anyways, point is, he was in Antarctica first time, and he filmed 6 seconds of a all black penguin, a melanistic penguin. Wow. And I saw a keynote on YouTube that he did, because as he got more famous on Twitter, and he never got like super famous. I think he might have had 150,000 followers, So it wasn't like he was huge, but he got more, he started doing more keynote stuff because he was working for Nat Geo and stuff.
Sure.
And the one keynote said, he said, if I would have known how rare that animal was, he said, because I ended up making like $50,000 off the 6 seconds I filmed.
Crazy?
He goes, I would have sat there and filmed all afternoon. He said, I thought this is,
after
yeah,
that.
he goes, apparently it's like a 1 in a bazillion chance of having an all black melanistic penguin.
It would have been really cool to see them. Like you'll see the pictures of like the whole landscape as far as the eye can see of penguins.
It's one of my favorite shots.
And that's what it was. And that's what it was.
Like,
That's what the 6 seconds was. It was literally
And you just
like,
see 'em in the crowd?
like thousands and thousands of penguins and then one all
It's
black.
like Where's Waldo?
Yeah,
you know?
I was gonna say that'd be really cool.
And he
That's
just
a
filmed
great
it just
shot.
because he thought it was interesting, but he just 6 seconds for Twitter. You know, that was it, you know, and here it turned out to be like this super good thing. So
so
there's my story for the day,
It's a beaut.
everybody.
That
I
was
hope
a
that you
beaut.
guys enjoy my story time.
Rare Dog says, I'm on my way to Louisiana. ETA is Monday afternoon. Not looking forward to Ida as I'm heading straight into that bitch. Might
my
have to
God.
pull a Noah and Heartbreak short of delivery. Not going to be pretty.
Oh,
Riding the
that-
storm.
yeah,
Godspeed, Rare Dog.
Yeah, that's, I mean, with the truck, are you kidding me right now?
I would
mean,
never. You're like though. You going to like on a boat is me in that truck with Davy.
Yeah.
I'm never fucking doing
no,
that,
ain't
baby.
no way. Not into a
Storm
hurricane.
chasers.
Not into a hurricane.
I would do a storm chase with a
Yeah.
regular truck, but not with a big rig. Never in my life,
Yeah.
dude.
Not with a big rig, you know. That's
No.
that's scary. So be safe.
We
Definitely
love
be
you.
Safe.
For
Yeah,
sure.
definitely Godspeed. And yeah, it's you know, I went through one. Have you ever been through a hurricane?
Not through a hurricane, no.
Any like tropical storm or any of that type of stuff? Went through
Depression.
one- yeah,
We've all
went-
been through
yeah,
a little
yeah,
depression,
right.
you know.
Yeah, a little depression.
Yeah, we've all been through that a couple
That
times.
happened this earlier today.
Yeah, yes.
When I woke up.
Yeah. Looked in the mirror.
Said, shit, I'm getting old. My birthday's in a couple weeks.
Oh, no, it hit you?
It hit me. I finally, well, 50 wasn't a problem. The 52 is when it was a
Yeah,
problem.
dude. Sometimes that's what happens, dude.
No, I don't give a
Sometimes it do.
I don't give a fuck about my age. Yeah, I went through one Hurricane Charlie in Florida, and that was crazy.
Oh, I bet.
I mean, that's like,
The videos don't do it justice.
Oh,
no,
You're there,
dude.
you're
dude, like I remember. So I'll tell you a quick story. I was at the Daytona show.
Yeah.
And Hurricane Charlie was coming across, and it was literally the eye of the storm was going to hit Daytona. I mean, like right through it. But it came off the East Coast, so when it hit the West Coast, when it hit Punta Gorda, it was a Cat 3.
Yeah.
They projected to be a Cat 1 by time, but a serious Cat 1 by time it hit Daytona.
Yep.
And so the peninsula that we're on, the Daytona Peninsula Beach, was the causeways were shut down. Everything you either got on or got out, you know. But we're there for the Reptile show, so we're like, and this was a Friday, so we're like, we set up for the show. They're like, we're going to ride this thing out, and then Saturday morning the show happens, you know? I mean, it's like that's what was going to go down. And I remember, like, all the restaurants were shut down. So we get done setting up, and, like, there's just one pizza joint that's, like, 2 blocks away from the hotel that's open. I go there, and for, like, it's like a 2-hour wait to get pizzas. I get, like, 6 pizzas just because for everyone that I know, right? Get, like, 6 pizzas. The whole time I'm, like, watching the TV,
Right.
this thing
Seeing
getting
this thing come
closer,
in.
closer,
Yeah.
closer. And I remember walking with 6 pizzas 2 blocks back.
Oh my god.
Just as the storm is hitting. Now, I'm thinking like now it's like as much of a storm as I've ever seen in Michigan, right?
Yeah.
But the fact is that that was nothing, dude. Because like I'm thinking like, holy shit, this is powerful wind.
Yeah.
I literally get into the hotel. And what they wanted to do so that the wind wouldn't blow out all the windows is they open up the emergency doors on the hallway, you know, so that there's not the pressure, right? And so literally I thought, I'm in the hotel lobby, I thought that someone was running a vacuum.
Oh, dude, it'll sound like a train.
It was like a super loud, like industrial vacuum.
Yeah.
I thought, and then all of a sudden I see people running out into the out there, and that's when the storm really hit. I mean, like literally, I was 5 minutes away from those pizzas being in the ocean.
Oh, yeah, dude.
And but yeah, that night was crazy. We were on the 9th floor, and there was like 5 floors ahead on top of us, and our roof was leaking through the lights, literally dripping
Through 5
And what
floors.
happened was the door walls were blowing out above us.
Yeah.
And then like just rain was just coming into the building. Thankfully, we never, you know, our door wall. But our door wall, I'll never forget this. Our door wall, I bet you it would bend 2 to 3 inches. Like it would bow out 2 to 3 inches.
It's crazy,
and,
isn't it?
And the lightning was crazy. The wind was crazy. And I'll never forget, Lori and I watched do you ever see the movie The Day After Tomorrow?
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
what
good,
we watched
proper
that
movie.
night.
Yeah, right.
We watched that movie
Yeah.
as Hurricane Charlie hit. But the weird
better
thing was
way.
is about 3 o'clock in the morning, the storm was gone. It was impossible to sleep, you know, because it was so loud and crazy. About 3 o'clock in the morning, winds died down. The storm left. The next morning, blue skies,
Deathly silent.
beautiful.
Oh,
yeah.
But they literally, it was so bad where it hit. thankfully, the convention center had power and the hotel had backup power. They both had backup power, but pretty much the entire peninsula was out of power. Yeah. And the next year when we came back, they were still rebuilding.
Oh yeah,
a whole year later.
Yeah,
that's how. And that was a Cat 1.
Yeah.
So Debbie, be careful out there.
Yeah. Be very careful. Let Roses Burn says, "Sup guys, just sending some love."
Thank you, Let Roses Burn. Thank you.
We love you.
We loves you.
Shalina says, "Just wanted to say thank you for introducing me to reptiles. Never been scared of them, but didn't respect and love them as much as I do now. Thank you. Much love."
Thank you so much. That means the world to me. And that's the mission statement, right? I mean, like, getting people to be excited about the animals and
protect them.
Like you said,
bringing out that curiosity.
Yeah. So this is the first time you've been here. I thought that you had been here and
only driven by.
Yeah. So you saw some of the magic up there today. It's just cool, right?
Well, it was just exciting even before I got here. Like even the people that were like, "Oh, bummer, they didn't realize they had to order tickets initially."
Yeah.
I mean, they were bummed out they couldn't come tonight, but they're like, "We're just coming back tomorrow." They were excited about it when we were talking about it. And they're like, and then the kids that came up before that when we met, I mean, they were all excited. They were reading the sheet and they were just getting more and more giddy all about it,
Well, that's the thing. I pulled up today
because with Elvis.
That's I pulled up today because I was running around a little bit this afternoon. I pulled up today just before we opened, and just to see that line of people, and it just gives me goosebumps to think about, like,
they're here for reptiles.
They're here to just like hang out and to know that we're sold out almost all the time, and those people love the experience. It's really cool, And
there's even people that I've talked to throughout these years where they're like, they know Jay. They'll see Jay's stuff and stuff like that, but they don't realize that you're here.
Yeah, we're here.
So I'm like, well, you got to go check them out, know? And they're like, no, wait, this is like 20 minutes away. I'm like, you just got to come here. And they're like, oh my God, we're going to bring the kids here and everything like that. So,
a lot of people don't. As a matter of fact, I just did some collabs with a couple YouTubers yesterday that have giant followings, and they didn't even know I was here. They thought I was in LA.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. They're like, oh my God, we didn't realize. We found out you were literally 10 minutes away they're about a half hour away from us. They're like, we had no idea, and these guys have, these girls have like 15, 18 million followers.
Which is crazy.
And then of course she told me. Did I tell you a story about how she told me I ghosted her?
No, really?
Yeah,
did you?
So I did. So apparently, I remember I told you that she started following me about
and then never hit you up or no,
and then never hit me. Well, apparently she sent me a message and I didn't.
It's just been a request for that long.
Dude. So like she sent me a message. She thought she was in LA at the time, and she thought that I was in LA, and she said, "Hey, I'd love to do a collab with you. Would you want to collab?" And I didn't respond.
Classic.
Because I never saw the message. I never saw the message. I saw that she followed me, but I didn't see the message. I buried in my request. And then for the last year, she still followed me. She said she wasn't mad at me or anything like that. She just didn't work out. And then she just found out that I was local. She's like, I didn't know I live right there. It's crazy.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we went and had a good time with her. So you unfortunately won't see any videos on our channels about it because they didn't want us to film with, for our channel, but it'll be on their channels here shortly. I have no idea.
They probably think you live in LA because you used to do all those collabs out
there.
Out
in LA.
I mean, that's kind of when I was here. Like you were constantly there and back. And
I was in LA all the time. Almost
you were
every
thinking of starting that collection out there.
I was thinking about having a collection just for collabing out there.
Have to keep borrowing.
Yeah. Now it's interesting. It's like there are still obviously a tremendous amount of YouTubers in LA and social influencers.
But as of this last year, a lot of people moved.
A lot of people left. I mean, there's a lot of people now kind of all over the place.
Just in general, I think everyone went from cities to out here.
Yeah, it's just like the girl I was collabing with yesterday. She said I don't want to live in LA. She said I like it here. I tell people all the time, like, Michigan's a great place because there's a lot of content you can film here. Yep. You can do things, but you can live cheaper and you don't get bothered by anybody. It's like you're kind of here, and she loves it here, and she spends actually half her year in Dubai as well. So she lives in Dubai, cool. And then in here she said she loves Michigan. So quite a different contrast.
Yeah, I was gonna say from Michigan to
Dubai to Michigan. That's a place. But I've done no traveling in the Middle East. So I want to do that.
That's cool. Right now is like proper time to go
Afghanistan.
To.
I hear flights to Afghanistan.
Yeah, we go to Fallujah right now.
They're super cheap, and you can get really good deals on them.
Yep. Family Bites says you can swim with whale sharks, humpback whales, turtles and turtles in Ningaloo Reef. It's near Shark Bay, and also Monkey Mia, known for the wild dolphins.
Oh, that's dope, man.
Whale sharks would be cool.
Yeah. I'm sure there'd be sea turtles down there too. I'm sure that they I mean, Australia is just such a cool place, man. I mean, that's I can't wait. I know Jay and I will go there, when this whole crap is over with. I mean, I think that we still want, and I still am not just discounting it not happening, but it's just going to have to wait to see. We want to go to Africa in November, the end of November, early December. I'd love to have Jay see that place, and then I really want to take everybody to Australia as well.
Australia.
It's just such a great place. The only problem with Australia is people don't realize it's the same size as America. Mm-hmm. But all it's all
Australia.
But it only has 30 million people, so it's got 10% of our people. So they're really all the people are in Victoria or in Melbourne, Sydney, Queensland, or in Brisbane, Perth. And a little bit in Darwin, and then a little bit in Alice Springs, but outside of that, there's no real I mean it's not untouched. But there's not a lot of people. I mean, when you get up to Mission Beach or something like that, it's there's still people
very
there,
rural,
but it's very rural. And then you get away from the coast, and you could drive from Brisbane to Alice Springs. You're talking about driving from here to Denver or even further,
see a human,
and you wouldn't even see anybody. Maybe what they call road trains there, which are like the semis that have like 4 or 5 different things attached. They call them road trains. And you break down, you're fucked. There's
you're proper fucked, man.
Yeah, I mean, you got maybe every 200 miles there's a petrol station or something like that. So like, I mean, when you you leave that petrol station, you're like, all right, let's hope our radiator doesn't bust in the next little bit. Yeah. And that's why usually when they're traveling, they have extra gas cans and extra parts to fix. And
shit. You also have to worry about the hotness of the road, don't you?
Oh gosh, at certain times of the year for sure. So, but it's beautiful. I mean, that's the only. But like I said, the only problem is people will always say that, like, I'm going to go check out all of Australia, and I'm like, well, I hope you have a month, because it's going to take you a month to see
any of those trips. Africa, anything like that.
Well, Africa's even worse because it's a gigantic continent, and South Africa is way different than West Africa, way different than East Africa, way different than North Africa, and there's a lot of Africa you do not want to go to. I mean, probably 80% of Africa
is dangerous,
very dangerous to go to. So you got to really pick and choose. But Uganda, Tanzania, Kenya, obviously South Africa, Namibia, is great. Obviously Egypt is awesome. So.
Silver Cash says, I've swam with a hammerhead shark. It's been around our surf spot since I was a kid. I honestly think it doesn't know it's a shark.
That's awesome, man. Hammerheads are great. Guy. Now, there's, the great hammerheads are really amazing. I mean, they get giant.
Yeah, like 15, 16 feet,
15, 16 foot. So they can be almost the size of a great white shark, but a great hammerhead.
And they're black, right? Like real dark,
darker,
right?
Yeah.
They're so ominous to see from like above. Like I've seen drone shots of just like a couple hammerheads swimming around. Oh, get you
Actually,
every time.
Forrest Galante, I just saw an Insta story from him yesterday where like his drone pilot, like he said 7 minutes of flying. I don't know where they're at. I have no idea what country they're at, but they had a drone shot of a great white just off the beach.
Oh,
just off the beach. Took them 7 minutes to find it. And
so cool.
And he at one point the Insta story is like it's on the shark and it shows on the camera that he's 3 feet above the waves.
Oh, that's
with
so
his drone.
crazy.
3 feet above the waves with the drone. That's sketchy as hell, right?
I got ballsy with that once, like when we were out there, but we were by the coast, but like we weren't shooting the whales or anything. But I was just gliding, just trying to get a cool shot going into the water, and the waves were coming in. I'm like,
dude, it gets sketchy because the drone like doesn't read the water, like it reads land, so it'll go in to the water like straight up. Like you can't just go straight; it'll start lowering. It's nuts.
That's always my scare. Remember that? You remember that YouTube video where the guy like I don't know if
I know
he
exactly
like goes into the pond after his drone just as it's like just coming down and he's running in and he just barely grabs it in time. That would be me as the phone. The drone was going. It's like I gotta get
it's so
drone.
Scary, man. I remember we went to the UP once and I flew like in some reason when I'm really high up and the drone's flying low, it freaks me out. I don't know why. So like it's we're on top of pictured rocks on the cliffs and flying over the water and there's giant waves and I was like freaking out having a mini heart attack, dude. No good.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, it's I was always nervous when I flew drones too far away from me,
Yeah, it freaks you out until you get used to it, man.
But it's it's amazing the shots you can get. Just think, again, 15 years ago. Like every shot you got like that was a helicopter.
And was thousands of dollars.
Yeah, it's a helicopter. You got to rent a helicopter. You got to mount this giant,
Now my doofus self can like throw it above my car while I'm driving,
Yeah, it's amazing.
So cool.
It's so cool how technology has come. So
Nick says, Brian, 2018 Shark Week, watch Great White Abyss. It's more than a couple hundred feet. It's more like thousands. Love me some Shark Week.
Thanks, Nick. I appreciate it.
So it's pretty much the Grand Canyon underwater.
I appreciate that confidence boost there, buddy.
Yeah, and then Silver Cash says, it's against the Italian way. They say no fruit but tomatoes are fruit. I love pineapple on pizza. Wow, Silver Cash, there you go.
Because Silver Cash, think you're going to have to make Lori a pineapple, a Hawaiian pizza, because I'm like an old school guy. I mean, I'm
nice pepperoni.
Yeah, the pepperoni. Got a
couple onions and peppers.
A couple different cheeses is good. I'm good about the
Asiago.
Yeah, whatever.
But
good. Yeah, it's good stuff. So, is there any dream animals that you want to work with? A reptile or other
project-wise, right now, it's been a long thing, and it's been a series of heartaches. Is the Gonyosona oxycephalums?
Okay, the red-tailed green rats. Yep.
So I've been working with those. I just have a male. He's been doing really well, but I mean, it's hard to get a good female.
Wild-caught ones are tough, and even captive ones are tough. I mean, captive ones can just like be doing good and then just die.
Yeah.
And it just out of nowhere. We gave a shot at a handful of them a couple years back.
You have them,
and none of them made it.
Yeah.
It was really disappointing. Now I did learn some things about them since that I think I would like to give it another crack if I ever get an opportunity to buy captive ones again.
Yeah.
But yeah, we failed miserably, unfortunately.
Yeah. So like, I mean, I went through probably 3 females, unfortunately, and one was doing really well and then just tapered like immediately.
Yeah.
I mean, was treated, everything like that, and I mean, I made sure that thing was okay before I put it near anything else. But
they're just such a unique animal.
Tough,
red-tailed green rats. I mean, that tongue, that slow
is
tongue is like
sapphire blue.
Yeah, it's just beautiful. I mean, they definitely are. I mean, it was a dream animal when I got them, and I hope I can one day get an opportunity. I think I'll do better with them this time because I've learned a little bit better about how to set them up.
Coming so beaten up too, it's an issue.
Yeah, I don't want to do any wild stuff. I just don't want any wild ones. Yeah, I just want captive. So, but no, that's a good animal. I appreciate
and then Wolmas, I'm trying to get more into and stuff like that. But I want to get more. I have 2 females that I'm raising, but I want to get like a unique male because like the males now, I mean, they're coming in with like reduced pattern, just more striping on them and darker animals and stuff like that. I want to do more with that.
Yeah, we have some stuff that's like super light, super light Womas. They're not patternless, but they're super light Womas, and I agree. It
looks more speckled, and I like that. I think it's just really unique. And then down the line, it'd be great to get into blackhead pythons.
Yeah, I love my blackheads. Yeah, hopefully ours will breed this year. I mean, I saw them completely hooked up about a month ago, which is completely off season. Yeah. So I'm hoping that maybe this we'll increase food a little bit. As a matter of fact, I know my friends Troy and Denver from the K Brothers down in Ipswich, Queensland. They said that's what you do is like, come October, November, they're opposite than that, but like our season, so fall, you just start smashing the female with food, just smash her with food. Yeah. And then, hopefully we can produce, but we actually have a pair upstairs. We have 2 females downstairs.
Yes.
Okay.
So we have 4 total, but only the pair is ready to breed. So,
okay.
So we got a little baby that's a year old now that's doing really well. And then we have, 3 that are about the same age, but the one was just not as big. Yeah. Crackle.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're just interesting. And I mean, I know a lot of people have issues starting them off.
Yeah, the very start is a little tough.
Very interesting. But
but my buddy Scott in Grand Rapids produces the shit out of them.
I talked to him in Tinley.
Yeah, he produces. He's been producing like almost every year. Yeah, he's crushing, and he's a good dude, man. He's a nice dude.
Yeah, he's really good.
He's a good guy, and he's like seems to have the magic hand because he not only produces viable eggs, they all hatch out, and then almost all his babies eat. You know, eventually.
He doesn't have to switch what food to go. Like
because that's where all mine came from. Yeah. All mine came from him, and they're beautiful. I love them. Blackheads are awesome.
Yeah, they're really cool. But yeah, other than that, I mean, just the ball pythons will be kind of going more so into like the clown stuff and kind of getting into that project. Clown, Enchi clown leopard stuff, and then I also
we just had some stuff hatch. Yeah,
literally.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I'm getting a tortoise urge. So I have like a redfoot tortoise right now, but like I would love to get more of them.
Yeah,
tortoises are tight.
It's funny. I've been saying it's interesting. You wonder if there's an evolution And what
I
mean
already
by
know
this
where
is-
you're at.
Yeah, there's so many of my friends. I was not a tortoise or turtle guy at all.
Right, I wasn't either.
Not at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked them, but I didn't ever want to keep them. And so many of my older reptile friends have like transitioned from snakes to lizards, then to turtles and tortoises. And I become all of a sudden like a turtle guy. Like,
you think that there's like as you get older that you like change through animals, like you're young, you're wily, you go through snakes. All right, maybe let's get some legs on these guys. You know, I'm 40. All right,
So
and then
let's slow down and
because like think about getting more into monitors easily, you know, and
yeah.
now like let's get some turtles and just chill.
No, I love turtles, man.
They are cool.
I've got some little side necks upstairs, and not at the Reptarium, but next door. And
the fly rivers. I mean,
the fly rivers are amazing.
They're so cool.
They're doing good.
I never thought I'd be so hooked like I am. I mean, ever since Kenan debuted on your channel, I mean, I've been watching. I've been an avid fan ever since. You know, but like
Nick knows the truth.
Nick knows the truth.
I mean, but at the same
Most
time,
people don't know that.
Yeah, so I was just like, this is crazy. Where like I never thought I'd get that urge where I'm like, I want more. I want a whole colony of redfoots, and then kind of. I mean, I always get a kick out of just seeing him walk into the enclosure and seeing them all hoard up to him. You know, I mean, it's just funny.
Yeah. They do. They're amazing. They're super
funny,
personable. Man. I mean, Matilda comes out. She was out like
she's like
this weekend.
Definitely one of the faves.
Yeah, she's just like going this weekend. She was on
another one.
Yeah. She just wanted to be out of her enclosure all the time this weekend. So she's been walking around a lot. And that's just amazing to have a giant tortoise. So it's I'm like I said, I spend a lot of time looking at turtles now and tortoises, and I want to get I really want to get some radiators and some stars.
The radiators are really cool, man. What was the one that I believe it was at Jacob Fader's house where he had no, it was a different one where you went in and he was like try to find the male and you went and put your hands in. To like that like muddy water and stuff, and it was black with those gold dots, dude. It looked like a Dolce & Gabbana turtle, dude. That thing was crazy.
I'm trying to think.
You remember what I'm talking about, right?
I remember what you're talking about, but I don't remember. I don't remember what it was.
Okay.
Yeah. We saw so much shit on that.
I
trip.
know. I think
I
like
can't
300
remember.
species.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So. What is Becky doing at Prince Albert Island?
Becky says, so sorry for the loss of your baby girl Anaconda. So heartbreaking after the excitement of her birth. Sending much love.
Yeah, that was a tough one, man. Yeah. It came out of nowhere. That was the thing, I mean, it was like live virgin birth. Thing did great for like 7-10 days. I mean, playing with it every day, tongue flicking, seemed like a completely normal animal. And then one day, literally just opened up the thing, it's dead. I mean, just dead. I mean, like no.
That's what I mean. It doesn't make sense.
Didn't make sense at all.
Same with the red tail. Like when I had that, I was just like, what's going on? It was totally fine. And then it normally went dormant, like when it was going into shed, and it would just stay in its cave. So I kind of knew its cycle. And then I realized like about 3-4 days later, I'm like, it seems like it's been in there a rather long time, more so than normal. And then I was like, this isn't good. And so it was just
it
it's
sucks,
a rough scenario,
but I mean, it's something that's going to happen to everybody. I mean, this one was a little bit tougher because it was such a miracle that it happened, and it was so unexpected. And I really,
an exciting story.
to me, that's the thing. I thought that a year, 2-3 years, I'd be taking that animal out to people and saying, you'll never guess this baby is a virgin birth. It doesn't have a dad, and I just thought it would be a really cool thing to do, but wasn't meant to be, and that's just what you gotta, I'm trying not to let myself get too bummed out about it, but
the cool thing is it happened.
It's tough.
It's tough, but like, I mean, you wish like there were better circumstances, but the cool thing is you still have a story with it.
Yeah. And we'll preserve it, and maybe that'll be the story.
I think that's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Take that out or whatever, so.
Wild Boy Dev says, hey, you guys.
What's going on, Dev?
What up, baby?
What's going on, man? He's a good dude, man. He's got a couple cool animals.
He's got a bunch of crazy stuff,
he's got a bunch of cool stuff. He's coming in. I know we're going to come in soon. I think he wanted to come in this last Thursday with Taco, the King Cobra.
We got to get him back.
But I just been so busy. Things have just been really, really difficult. This coming week's going to be really challenging, too, because I got to go out to Chicago on Tuesday, so just for a day and a half or so. So it's going to be a little bit challenging, but it will get there.
Let Rose Burns says, so loving the story time with Brian. Also, hashtag checking.
That's awesome. I appreciate you as always, and I always have story time.
Your boy Ryan, we were just talking about him before the podcast.
Oh yeah, Ryan, what's up,
bro? He says, what's crack-a-lackin' gang? Brian, how's the green tree monitors doing for you? Good. Got my baby blues in, and I'm digging them big time. Have a yellow tree pair that'll be here in the next couple weeks. as well once the enclosure is done. Sorry.
Yeah, so the green trees are doing great. They're really cool. As a matter of fact, we're going to try some like kind of enrichment here this coming up week, just with like some mealworms in a tube, where they might be able to try to get to them and stuff like that. They're doing really well. I love the McCreary, the blues, but I would like to get yellows. Yellows. I think are the best option besides Persinus, which is the greens. They're typically pretty docile. Really? Okay. Whereas the McCreary blues, they're not docile. They just like to hide so much, so they're not as great at display. Although the green trees hide a lot too. To be honest with you, true. There's a lot of times you just see the cage, you're like, yeah, they're in there somewhere. We got to right. Yeah, you want to try to give them shelter to make them feel good. So we have like a big cork bark tube, and they spend almost all their time in the cork bark tube. One of the females sometimes comes out, but hangs out. But that's about it. So it's a little bit of a bummer. But I would like the yellows are supposed to be pretty brazen. They're supposed to be like the greens that they'll come out, and they typically are pretty good. I just haven't had an opportunity to get some. So good on you to get two beautiful species.
Family Bite says it's in the middle of nowhere, but worth the effort. That's I'm guessing that one bay that she was talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Silver Cash says, shout out to my bro, Simple Man, and the whole chat gang. We love y'all and appreciate everything.
We appreciate you too, man.
Much
we
love.
do. Yeah, it's just good. Yeah, Simple Man's quiet right now, but he'll be around, I'm sure. He'll be around in the future. We'll catch him. He's one of the boys.
Will says, what happens when wild snakes get eye caps and get some reptiles to do the milk crate challenge? You know what's funny, dude?
Shit, yeah,
I thought about that the other night.
I was not doing that. Though.
No, but like you could do it on a smaller scale. You don't have to do like the whole big thing and get an animal hurt. Obviously,
well, I think that my experience with the interwebs, is that anytime you do any stunt with an animal, you get fucking crucified, man.
Yeah.
So I think if we did any even close to anything with the milk crate challenge with a reptile, we would be persecuted beyond belief. We'd be canceled.
Yeah.
You could set a reptile right next to it, and people.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, you could have fell on it. You bet. Right. Yeah. I mean, let someone else do it. Maybe if some other YouTuber wants to do it with a smaller following, they can do it. We would get destroyed.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
It's
it's that's a scary challenge. I mean, I saw.
Oh, people are breaking their necks.
Oh
dude.
My gosh, yeah.
Where did it originate? Who started that?
Probably it was probably the Russians trying to get us all kill ourselves.
Yeah, the China.
Yeah, China did.
They're
the ones that make the crates.
But no, my one my one friend that I follow on, he does like all these crazy like trampoline stunts and all kinds of crazy stuff like that, parkour. He did one on like a bridge. You might have seen it on TikTok. He'll have like 12 trampolines right next to a pool.
Oh, I did see this, and like he fell into the pool and like
and literally
cracked himself.
It was like I think
he hit the pool. He hit the side of the pool.
And
then he comes up. He's like, "We're good."
Yeah, he's like, "We're good."
Get
literally,
out.
like he falls off the end of the at the very end, and it's like 15 feet above the pool.
Oh yeah,
concrete,
and literally goes right to the edge of the concrete. And I don't know if he hit it or if he didn't hit it. I have no idea. But I mean, if he didn't hit it, he skinned his knee. Let's put it that way.
Exactly.
I mean, it was that close.
I thought he was gonna break his neck.
Yeah, and once you're falling, you're screwed.
Right.
Because he's trying to make the momentum to get over it. So he's on the tail end of the momentum, and so when he falls, he's just like heading right for the edge of the pool.
I saw a girl do it. I mean, she completely twisted her wrist when she fell and stuff like that, and you're just watching her hold it, and it's just like completely bent right angle.
So fun.
Nothing. That's
like,
not worth the
what
fame, the 30 seconds of fame you're gonna get.
And now people are doing like the Olympics where they have like the whole city come out to a park and do it. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, bro.
Sheesh.
Love it.
Let's do it.
Let's get it done.
Let's get Utica City out here, man. Let's make some broken ankles.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we need to. The one thing we need is more people in the hospital.
Yeah,
I mean that's what I've heard. I've heard there's lots of room, lots of space.
Our boy Simple Man did come on, and he says, "Shout out to my bro Silver Cash and Chat Gang. Hope everyone has a great night."
Thanks, my man. Appreciate it. Glad you came on, man. I hope you're well.
Little Bogus says, much love. Fell asleep right before the podcast started, so sorry I'm late. Good thing ball pythons are so chill as he napped with me.
Oh my god, whoa. Little Bogus.
How dare you not watch our podcast? Go back and watch it.
Yeah, how dare you fall asleep to this boring part of the podcast?
Love it.
No, we love you.
Bud Vibe says, cross a desert ghost clown with a banana clown.
It'd be an interesting one, right? Because the DG clowns are really nice. The question I would have is that what would a banana do to a G? You know what I mean? It might wash it out to where it might not be as like a DG clown might be better than a banana GG clown.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can you punch that? Has no one bred a banana DG clown? You know, want to punch it up? Banana GG desert ghost clown. Yeah, you can just even do a DG. That's fine. I mean, someone's got to have produced that by now. No.
That'd be something pretty close.
Let's see.
I don't see it.
Maybe not. Let
me put Desert Ghost though.
Yeah,
so maybe it's not reading it.
Yeah. I just would think that would be something that would be pretty easy to produce with all of the stuff that everyone's doing now, you know? But it doesn't look like it.
No.
I mean, you got the banana butter desert ghost.
Yeah, I don't even see
clown.
It. Pastel Enchi Desert Ghost, banana Enchi, spider.
You know, I mean, when you look at that banana butter desert ghost pinstripe, it's a pretty pronounced animal.
Yeah,
you know
it's
what
actually
I mean?
really pretty.
So, I mean, maybe with the clown, it wouldn't be as blown out as I think it's going to be. So, interesting. Okay.
Good idea.
Yeah, well, there you go. There you go, Nick. That's your project.
There's your next project.
Right, exactly.
Get on it, man.
Get on Desert Ghost.
Yeah. Desert Ghost stuff is cool. It's like someone said, you never see a desert. Yeah, you never see a desert ghost at a reptile show. And that tells you how in demand they are.
Oh, that's
because
cool.
they're never at a reptile show. You see clown stuff, you see pied stuff, which are both super popular. But desert goat stuff,
people hold on to, huh?
People either hold on or they sell it as soon as it's born. So it's just a super clean animal, you know. And for a recessive mutation, I wish I would have got into that years and years and years ago. But you know, that ship has sailed, as they say.
Family Bites says any positive outcome, and I think she meant rant, but from the USARK rant podcast.
It's so interesting, man. It's like crickets. Like crickets. I mean, like I got,
and everyone heard it, like for sure, dude.
Zero chance that some people that I was officially calling out without saying their names, zero chance they didn't hear what I said. And I was, I mean, I had some people like Jeremy from Nerd and some other people like call me up and be like, good job, it need to be said. But those were all people that were already doing their job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And in USR. And there's some other great people too. As a matter of fact, the other day, the High Cider, I think it's, High Cider ball pythons, I think. High Desert ball pythons. Thank you. High Desert ball pythons. He's like a UFC promoter, or not UFC, but an MMA promoter as well. And it was the baddest fucking thing I've ever seen. He had Rampage Jackson.
Oh, no way.
Shout out USARK.
No way. That's
he's
really
like,
cool.
you know,
That's
he's
cool.
like, you got to go to this MMA match. Proceeds are going to the USARK. That's right.
No way.
You know, and it was Rampage Jackson.
That's so badass.
I was like,
has that happened before?
No,
I don't think so.
I've never heard anything like that. So that was a super cool thing. So shout out to him. You're a good dude.
That's good.
And
you're pulling your weight, mister.
But so there's a lot of people that are doing it. So like proceeds were going there. Lots of proceeds. Lots of people do lots of great things. But no, it was shocking how like how quiet.
It's crazy because though it was like you going off, I mean, it was still inviting, you know. It still was.
I was like, like, listen, let's work together. Right. Even if you hate me, let's work together because together we can do such amazing things. Yeah. Sure. And I didn't get a tweet, I didn't get an email, I didn't get a message, I didn't get
poke on Facebook,
nothing. Nothing from anybody but the people that are already in my inner circle.
Yeah.
And so I was shocked by that. I was shocked and disappointed by that. But you know what? Listen. You know, one day it's going to come back on them, and they're going to need the help with USARK, and they if they didn't support them and they didn't do anything for them for the last 10 years, then you made your bed, you sleep in it.
Yep, that's right.
You know, and it's not just about USARK. I mean, USARK was my platform I was talking about, but it's about everything. It's about conservation. It's just like Chandler and I talked about. We're definitely going to be doing a ton of stuff in the future on conservation. And think about if we can combine our audiences, what we can do with the message about conservation, about whatever we decide. And same thing with Savannah and everyone like that. So, you know, I think it's a real missed opportunity for other YouTubers that are just care about themselves, and they don't give a shit about anything but their own thing, you know, and they're afraid of tarnishing their image. You know, that's what I heard a couple of the people said, this was before the podcast, not after the podcast, but they said literally they would be afraid to be seen with me because their audience wouldn't like it. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Yeah. Like, what you take a poll in the audience that, now again, years ago, I used to get lots of hate. Now I don't get much hate anymore. You know what I mean? It's like very seldom do I get hate. So you're mean to, and then you're so concerned that you may lose a little money because you're doing the right thing. Then fuck off. You know what I mean? And I'm sorry to be crude about it, but that's the way I feel. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, everyone's gotta step up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not.
You're working with reptiles and making money off reptiles. You should try to put money back into protecting it for future people.
It's just only hurting everyone.
If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. So that's where I go.
Scottish Rob says, managed to catch some today. Best to all you guys.
Thank you, Scottish Rob.
Much love. And then our boy Jason from Morph Mixology says, what's up, Snake Dudes?
What's up?
Here's to that 4 million and seeing the aquarium come to life. And damn it, go support USARK.
Amen, brother.
Amen.
I appreciate you, man. And we got a long way to go to get to 4 million, but we'll get there. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of when.
That's right.
It's listen. There's all kinds of things. I mean, obviously, there's money I already have. There's money I will continue to bring in through investments. There's I told you, right?
Which one?
Let's just. Let's do this, man. Go to OpenSea.
Oh shit! Oh yeah. You did.
Go to I want to see where it's at now. So I did a podcast on Wednesday with Lori, and then look up Steadfast Snake.
What is it?
Steadfast Snake.
How do you spell stead? STAEAD.
AAD. Yeah. AAD. Fast Snake. So I did a podcast on Wednesday. And it was a tie-dye one. Is it on there? Yeah, there it is. So it was $43,000.
This one right here, right?
$43,000 on Wednesday. It's now $66,000. $66,000
for literally this.
For that. Yeah. So it went up $23,000 in 3 days. So anyways, my point is I'm making some investments in that world soon that I'm going to hopefully be able to make money on.
A lot of people don't believe in it.
Yeah,
it's
you don't have to believe in it if it's working.
Right there.
You know what I mean?
The proof is right there.
Yeah. People are making, I mean, some of the bigger people are making unbelievable money. I mean, I know people that are spending, $300,000 on an NFT and then selling it for $1 million a month later. Making $600,000-$700,000 in a month on NFT stuff. So his point is that that thing I told Lori that'll be $250,000 in a month and a half. And I could have picked it up on Wednesday for 43. Now it's 66. But I'm not saying I'm going to buy that for 66. But I do want to buy a Steadfast Snake. But the ground level of Steadfast Snake right now is about $15,000 to $20,000. It's the ground, and that's for the white one. Yeah. And I don't really want a white one.
You need something with some pizzazz.
Yeah, I want some color. So the ground floor for those is about $35,000. But if you invest $35 and can make $70 or $100
in a couple of days,
and then you take that $100 and you put it into maybe a little bit upper level,
or buy 3
different one, a different thing, and then you go there and then you go there, and So my point is between what I make already, what I already have, what I'm going to continue to make on investments. And then, listen, we're talking to a bank now, too. We're in the process of talking to a bank about loans and stuff like that, and as well as grants from the city. We'll get there. Yeah. It's just not like we're relying on, everyone to just chip in money because we're going to do our part. Yeah. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I'm going to bear the lion's share of this. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I'm not expecting to raise $4 million. Listen, everyone would like some rich guy to go like, guess what? I'm worth $200 million. And I want to give you I want to give you $3 million just because I believe in your thing. Yeah, that would be the dream. Yep. But
for anyone's business.
But that's not reality. I mean, I think the chances of that happening are slim to none.
But not impossible.
But never impossible.
And then Silver Cash says, MJ and Jason popping in tonight. Mad respect and can't wait for the visit.
Yeah, man. It's awesome. It's awesome. I can't wait to have you too. I know that a couple other people are going to come in as well.
That's awesome.
Next week, not next weekend, but the weekend after. Jeremy said he's going to try to come as well.
Good shit.
But we'll see what happens. I mean, it's like I've said. I mean, I don't want to have a bash, but I'm inviting people to come and hang out.
Hey, you want to come chill a little bit? Let's hang out.
Yeah, we'll hang out. We'll have some pizzas and stuff like that. Get some stuff like that.
That's all I got right now, Mr. Brown.
That is it. Oh my gosh! So tell me more about what your future looks like. You're going to still continue on with the film and editing and or all that stuff.
So I always think of life as like a staircase, up to what you want,
right.
And that always changes and it evolves, and it should, But like I said, I didn't want to. I could have been breeding ball pythons all this time.
Sure.
But I was like, I'm not going to be doing it in the way that I think is right. Everything like that if I did that. So I was like, let's hold off on it.
So what do you mean by right? Tell me what you mean by that.
I didn't have the space or anything like that, So I'm like, I'm not going to force space or make anything like that in the capacity that I was at. I was like, it's just not the right move right now. So I'm like, let's focus on getting the film stuff up. Let's focus on becoming more independent and stuff like that. And that was kind of aspects. So I was like, all right, let's ride this collection out. Let's still produce YouTube videos, not on a great scheme or high production scheme that I was at now and everything like that, but like still put them out because it's still good with consistency.
Sure.
But yeah, so basically it was like I knew where I wanted to be, and I knew to get here I needed to keep working on my craft with film. So I was like, let's keep doing side gigs, everything like that, being paid very little, everything like that, and then it just kind of unfolds and it works out at the end if you keep banging that nail.
Well, that
and
world is like that, right?
Yeah.
Most of those jobs are like you're barely paying. You're like, here's $50 for 8 hours of work, and then that turns into $100, and then it turns into $300.
And the opportunities come like randomly. I mean, you never know when that break is going to happen. And stuff like that.
It's a tough world.
Yeah, exactly. So just getting into that realm. I mean, it's great now that I literally have 3 videographers underneath me and stuff like that, and working and stuff like that. So that's been great. But yeah, the main thing too is I have more time to focus on the animal side of things and like all the production stuff that I want to do with it. So I've been kind of branching out, and like I said, I bit way more off of goals and projects that I wanted to, starting last fall, but, it's all just a cycle and stuff like that. I think like I've been learning like through the podcast productions and stuff like that, how that's been going and how I can keep improving that and keeping that more consistent and stuff like that.
How many did you try to do? I mean, you did 4, you said, trying to do 12. Now, what's the idea? Release once a week or?
Once a month.
Once a month, okay.
Yeah, I think just for right now, I think just with workload schedule and stuff like that, until I'm even more independent in doing things and stuff like that, I think it's the right move.
Okay.
So
you just do record and then release later?
Yeah, so pre-recorded ones and everything like that.
Yeah. Now, do you edit stuff out or you just go live, like do it?
No,
like us.
No, I edit it
like us.
Yeah,
like
so,
you say something you say something wrong, you're screwed.
You're out. You're canceled.
Exactly.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Go run home to mommy.
Yeah, the only thing I edit out is like people coughing. That's the only thing. Other than that, I mean, everything's fair game.
Sometimes I wish we could edit some things out. Sometimes I'm like, damn, we should edit that. As I'm saying it, I'm like,
no.
Shit, I should edit that out. Damn it, I should have self-edited. But I like the live though. Number one, we can chat with the people.
I did,
I dig that, and just kind of see what's
seeing
going
the
on.
feed. I think that's just really cool.
Yeah, it's super cool. Yeah, it's something different, and it's kind of but we haven't done really Zoom stuff. We've stayed away from that for now. But I think we might. We always say we might do some more Zoom. Do Zoom stuff.
It can be a
future.
pain at sometimes, but I mean, it definitely. I mean, for people that are really far out that you can't get on a dime or anything like that, it's definitely.
It's about quality for me. If you could do like good quality Zoom, then I'm all about it. But a lot of the quality, like a lot of the podcasts, Reptile podcasts in particular, that do Zooms, they're just. I mean, it's like you're watching like something from the 80s. You know what I mean? It's like you're like
so grainy and everything like that.
Everything's grainy and
there's a disconnect between people because sometimes you're lagging and hearing somebody a second after they're talking, and then there's a stop, and then you can't, you don't know how to hop in the conversation.
It was funny when I did Billy at Mutation Creations. Yeah, like I could only hear him. I couldn't hear the other 2 people in the podcast.
That's what I'm saying.
So there were times I think that they were asking me questions and I was just ignoring them because I didn't hear them.
Right.
They weren't in my earphones.
Just that awkward silence.
Yep. Yeah. That's exactly right.
Or I would like talk over them. Because I didn't realize they were asking a question, and I'm sure people that were watching, like, what? Brian's such a douche.
He's not even listening to these guys.
Not realizing that 5-second delay.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but literally, like, there were 3 people at the podcast, and I could only hear one. Yeah. So, like, I don't know what was going on with their stuff. So, but that's the technical issue. We tried to work it out a bunch of times, and we just never been able to really nail it down to where it actually works. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, the YouTube side of things and getting that stuff up, I mean, that's great. Kind of putting like my film projects and stuff like that on the side, and kind of like I want like the ball python side of things and breeding aspects. I want to do that when I know I can do it well. I don't want to put anything out that's half-assed with it.
Right.
So now it's kind of like, well, I want to keep doing things and growing like the collection and animals that I've wanted, dream species and stuff like that. So that's how I got into the Woma pythons a couple years ago. Growing those up, I would love to get into those projects. Red tail green rat snakes, everything like that too. I think that would be really cool to do. Just on the side. I don't think I would do colubrids on a brand scheme, but like those always caught my eye.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, I think just like finally having my own reptile room where I can just like produce my own videos and stuff like that and kind of see that
now
unfold.
with your you do YouTube now, so what do you put out now? Like how many videos?
Probably it's normally, besides because of the power outage, I wasn't able to do a couple, so we're a little bit behind, but like it's normally once a week.
Okay, once a week, good.
So it's not
we'll make sure to put your links down
Hell
below
yeah.
and stuff
Appreciate
like that. That way,
Yeah.
you know, if anyone wants to check it out, you know, and keep that
Absolutely.
going. So it's good stuff. What do we got next?
We got AB Thrilla says, hello, Brian, family, and friends. You guys are awesome. And sorry about the little baby anaconda. Keep up the amazing work.
Yeah, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Again, it was a
Tough.
Yeah, it was a shitty way to start the day. You know, it was hard to get like, you know, emotionally disconnected from that one.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
that was a rough one, but I still have 3 amazing anacondas that I love to death, and now I've got to find a male.
Especially when the event just happened. It's all like in your head. It's all exciting.
So,
and then just
it's all
seeing that as a
exciting.
bummer.
Deflating, yeah.
It's crazy, you know.
Big
But
pop.
but now I got to find a male. That's gonna be. I'm surprised. Usually when I say like, hey, I need a male or something, or I need
Could
a
find it
female,
pretty
something
easy.
like I'll get like 10 emails like, hey, I've got a male, or I know some guy that has a male. Like nothing, nobody. You know, there was one Ryan actually down from Primitive Predators.
Right.
He has one, but he wants to loan it to me, and I'm not
Like full grown?
Yeah,
Like on right
it's a
now?
proven
Okay,
breeder.
okay,
Yeah, proven breeder. He produced this last year, but he just knows that Ivy is so much bigger that she'll have so many more babies.
yeah.
But I'm not a big fan of breeder loans. Yeah. He's a great guy, and I think we would do completely fine with it. But I would be, you know why I don't like breeder loans?
Why?
Is because I don't care about splitting the babies, because that's typical in a breeding loan. You do 50-50.
Yeah.
What is concerning to me is like, what happens if that male dies? What happens if Ivy kills that male,
Right.
or something
Are you now
tragic happens?
liable? Yeah.
Well, not am I liable? I don't want to make that phone call. I don't want to make that phone call.
I
Like,
get you.
Ryan, guess what? I know the snake that you love, that you trusted me to keep, is now dead. You know, like, how am I going to replace that?
Yeah.
You know,
And things happen,
And things
you know?
happen. You know, if something dies on me, it sucks, and I eat it, and I think it's whatever. And it doesn't happen often, obviously. But the point is that I absorb it all, and I just have to deal with it. When someone else is involved, then now I have an extra amount of pressure that I really hate. You know.
Yeah, and you don't want to deal with that.
No,
reaction
it
or anything
it takes
like
the
that.
fun out of it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's like now you're all nervous always. Like when I put him
Every
in
day
for the
you walk
first
in,
time,
yeah.
I'd be like, oh my God, please don't do something, you know? So
And sometimes too, the hunt for the animals kind of fun, you know.
speaking of like unexpected things, this happened to me yesterday right now. So we're doing this collab with these 2 girls, big followings, and we bring Snaz, the normal Burmese python, Sunrise, the normal Burmese python, and Burmese python, and then the albino, and then we bring 6 ball pythons, adult ball pythons. And the deal was they were going to do stuff, and then I'd put a ball python if they got the answer wrong, or whatever, you know, one of those types of things. And so at the end, they go like, all right, they get the ball pythons on them. Now they want the bigger snakes on them. And Snaz, like I put him on him, everything's fine. Snaz is the tamest thing in the world, right? Sunrise, tamest thing in the world.
Yeah.
Get done filming, get out. They were actually in a kiddie pool, right? So the snakes couldn't get out. And they get out, everything's fine. And all of a sudden I see Snaz strike. And he tries to coil a ball python.
No.
Wow.
Wait,
Yes.
really? What?
He tried to coil a ball python.
I've never heard of anything like that.
I don't know what that was about. And then later on, we did another scene, and now I know I've got to keep a real close eye. And Snaz was the same thing, would like sniff the ball python, and you could tell he was going to strike. So I'd have to like move his head, and as soon as I move his head, it's fine.
I've never seen 2 snakes interact like that.
Not pythons like that.
or boas.
And,
no.
So, but yeah, when he was with Sunrise, next to Sunrise, no issue at all. And so I don't know what it was.
They gotta try that kiddie pool technique out in the Everglades to trap them berms, you know?
Berms.
Yeah, the berms can't get out of those kiddie pools, man. Shalina says, hope this goes to the new expansion. Would love a vlog of identification of the genes, marking and such. Much love to the fam and Jay's beautiful eyes. Girl. Oh. Do I gotta think Romaro?
Yeah,
here?
slip into those DMs,
Oh,
baby.
Shalina.
So I would love to do something like that. I don't know what the broad reach, and exactly how to.
I'm going to talk to you about it. I had an idea the other day, so I'll talk to you about it after this.
Yeah. If I can do it to where it would be entertaining
And very easy to explain.
and
I
easy
figured
to
it out.
explain.
We're going to use colors, dude. It's going to be great. I got you.
Colors,
Just wait.
colors.
Just wait. I promise you.
This is red.
I'm telling you.
I could do that. This is green.
Yeah.
This is blue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and then this is blue-green.
And this is blue and green, and that makes...
Just wait. I got you. I promise you, Brian. I was thinking about it the other day.
Sounds great, man. Sounds great.
Silver Cash said, awesome guest tonight. Glad I was able to catch a live Saturday Work is slow and slowing down, and it's time to start taking vacations.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah, mandatory vacations.
Exactly.
Mandatory vacations.
Yeah.
For you. No more for you.
Yeah.
You get back to work, damn it.
Jason came back and says, I'd check with Megan Kelly for the Anaconda.
Yeah, Megan's not a fan of me.
Oh.
So, yeah, I mean, which is weird because I did a Snake Bites episode on her.
Really?
Specifically on her. And then a couple years later, like I never did anything wrong with her. She was part of the, she was one of the people that led the hate brigade, Why? I don't know. I mean, I never did anything to her. I never, had any bad interactions with her. We went out there, we saw her stuff. She had some really cool anacondas. Still respect what she does. But yeah, she said a lot of really nasty things about me online, which were completely unwarranted. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think she'll be helping me out.
Family Bite says my sons love herping vlogs.
Yeah.
Can you do those in Michigan?
Yeah, we can. There's not
dope.
a lot of herping in Michigan, and we're getting towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
Get some massive rattlers.
We should definitely go to the Snake Road this fall.
Dude, I'd love
We've
that.
said we've been saying that the last
Hell
couple
yeah,
of years,
dude, let's do it.
but we should do it. This fall when Snake Road down in Illinois. It's about an 8-hour drive,
Okay.
but down in Illinois they shut the road down for migration for like 2 weeks. And the last time I was there, it was actually in the spring, not the fall. And I heard the fall's better than the spring. I saw 27 cottonmouths within like a half hour. Wow. Now I will say we walked around. It's like a two mile road that they shut, and I walked that road probably 4 times, didn't see one snake, and then dusk hit.
Yep.
And I saw 27 within a half hour. And then we saw tons of other stuff too.
That's like one of my favorite things about wildlife stuff in general is like I was telling you that this morning, Brian, is like you'll go like 4 times around a place and like never see anything, and then that last time before you leave, you see everything all at once.
That happened when we were in I can't remember the damn preserve in out by Durban, Africa. It was me and myself and Forrest. We saw a couple. First off, we went with these guys, Ralph from Ultimate Reptile Supply down there. Great guys. Shout out to them. We went to this place that was a giant preserve. I mean, hundreds of miles, and they were like, yeah, we don't know what we'll see, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, listen, I always see stuff. I mean, I'm lucky with this shit, And so we sure enough, we drove around. We saw a couple things, like a few things here and there the first like 3 hours or so, enough to keep us engaged. But it was kind of funny. This is so obviously this is one of those preserves you can't get out of the car. There's lions there. There's other things. You can't get out of the car. Elephants, rhinos, stuff like that. Not allowed to get out of the car. But yet, right in the middle of this preserve, there's a picnic area.
Of course there is.
Where you can park and get out of the car and eat your picnic.
And where they smell all the food and they're going to murder your family.
There's no fences. There's no anything.
That's classic.
So we saw a vine snake at the picnic thing. Then we saw
I remember this video.
We saw a leopard tortoise. Right there,
isn't that cool?
And then we even saw a chameleon, a little carpet chameleon, on the road. Yeah. And so we saw that, and then next thing you know, we saw an elephant 4 feet away from our car. We see a rhino. 3 minutes later, we're driving. We see a rhino up on the top of probably 100 yards away, but moving. So we move up the road to where we think he's going to go. He walks in front of our car, stops, starts sniffing the car. Jeez. Like curious, and then we saw a couple others. We didn't see any lions, unfortunately, but we saw a couple other things like some Cape buffalo and stuff.
Everyone's jaws dropped.
And Ralph said, we've been coming here since we were kids, and we have never had these experiences ever. And I go, I know I'm lucky.
Me.
I'm lucky like that, But yeah, that's what I'm saying. You just never know. Now, certainly, I'm still searching for my first snake on Mount Glorious in Australia because I've been up that damn mountain many times and haven't seen a snake yet.
You trade luck for unluck.
I'm lucky in Africa, not as lucky in Australia. Although I've caught a lot of stuff in Australia, obviously, so I've been lucky in Australia as well, but not on Mount Glorious.
Little Bogus says, Silver Cash, take a vacation in Nebraska. We'll go to the Omaha Zoo and Brian can chaperone.
Oh man, I'm gonna play some Barry White.
Right. Damn.
I'm going to pay so, yeah. And by the way, the Omaha Zoo is crazy good. I mean, like probably the best. I think the best zoo in the country.
Is that the Henry Doyle?
Henry Doyle.
Yeah.
Best zoo in the country. So yeah, let's all go.
That'd be tight. Scottish Rob says, have you talked with Nerd about him?
It's a great question, and I have not. I need to do that. I don't know that Kevin will have a spare male, but
you never
but
know.
he does breed them, and you never know. The only person I thought about talking to was Kevin, to be totally honest with you, because I know he has a group of them. I don't know how many. I've seen 5 or 6 adults in his collection. He may have more. I don't know. I've seen 5 or 6. So he might have a spare male laying around. That'd be cool.
Never know with him.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth it. And I just, weirdly enough, I haven't talked to Kevin in about a month and a half, which is really strange because we usually talk at least a couple times a month, if not more. But just been busy, just haven't had time to talk, and I know when we get on the phone, we'll be talking a lot, and of course, Jeremy, his manager, leaves, I think, next week.
Yeah. I think you're right.
So, apparently Jeremy said he's having like a killer year with ball python production. Like, and he's like, holy shit, I don't know what he's gonna do. With like I'm leaving, and like he's got all these babies.
That's why you haven't heard from him.
Yeah, he's gonna go nuts. So good for him. Hopefully sales will be good.
Simple Man said, hope tomorrow is better for you, man, and wish the best to you and everyone.
Yeah, you too, man. I appreciate you, man.
That's all I got, baby.
No, that's good. So, well, Nick, man, it's been great. Like I said, I'll put a link in the description to your stuff. So, so make sure we get that from you before you leave. Go show him some love and stuff like that. It's great to have you. You're always welcome here. You're local, so come by anytime.
Let's do
have
it.
some
Let's
fun.
keep making videos, dude.
Yeah,
Let's
it'd be
keep
good.
doing some stuff. This
I think it would be good. We definitely got to do some collaboration stuff. So, so cool. Well, thank you guys for joining us tonight. We appreciate you. We'll be back. By the way, might not be here Wednesday because I might be in Chicago. Don't know if I'm going to be here Wednesday.
Eating a deep dish.
Yeah, eating a deep
Noah
dish.
should be home Friday. We don't know.
Yeah, Noah should be here for next Friday.
Where's he at now?
He's on his way to. He's in Vegas probably right now. Actually, in Vegas, and then he starts to make his way back home through Colorado and stuff like that.
I was gonna say what his route was.
Yeah, so he was going to go from Vegas to Colorado to Denver, and then he said they're going to kind of slow ride that one, just doing cool stuff along the way, and maybe take 3 more days to get to Denver, and then once they hit Denver, they're home. They're just because there's nothing else to see. Could go to Henry Doorly Zoo, but they wouldn't care about that. So we'll definitely, we may not see you Wednesday. Noah probably will be back Friday.
Saturday for sure.
I will definitely be back Saturday. So I'll either see you then or not. So have a good night, guys.
Have a good one, guys. See you.
All right. Thanks so much, man. Take care. Bye.